Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Just finishing setting up the video stream. The audio stream looks to be going okay. And there it is. Now let's come in through here. Let's do a little audio sample. And then we'll get started. Another week with not much in the notebook. Hey, Brian is in the chat. Kicking us off right. It says, let me see, get it on the screen there. It says, I'm going to go get coffee and be back in a bit. So he's going to come back and watch us at like 8 times speed, but that's all right. He's the one who taught me how to do 2x speed. I thought I was doing all right with the 1.5, but 2x is much better for most of the stuff I watch day in, day out. Okay, so the audio doesn't sound bad. You're not hearing all the air and servers and stuff going on there. It's a 92 Fred outside. It's 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Lots of fun. Let's see here. Get the mouse back on the screen that you guys are on. And we've got a window right here I can use to hold the discussion topics that we've got in the notebook. As soon as I work the notebook, there's the icon. Let's open up a sidebar. Then I've learned to hit this button. There we go. And then we're going to hit that button. I've got one item in the notebook, but that's all right. We can find other stuff. But let's start with the one item that we've got in the notebook. Before we even do that, let me see. There we go. I've got this heavy lump of copper. So this is my first 2-aught crimp. It's not that good. I guess still gotta do the heat shrink, but finally in the home stretch, I'll get that battery put together. It's a lot of copper. It's heavy. Well, it hit something. All right, let's see here. All right, the X chat's still going. Let me poke the screen before I forget it. One thing that was pointed out there as I loaded up the screen was that the Model Y became the best-selling car in Korea. It's one of the first times, or the first time ever, that a foreign car has done that. Congratulations to the team. All right, so now I'm seeing that one of our fine little services is blocking me from putting stuff in the chat from here. I'm gonna blame Facebook and LinkedIn again, because those are the two that usually screw it up. And LinkedIn right now, if you're watching this on LinkedIn live, there's not gonna be a second stream at 8 o'clock tonight. They don't let you edit your time from outside of the system, and they told me a message about it when I went to fix it, and I remember now, and I'm not going to go back and fix it. So don't wait around for me at 8 o'clock tonight for another live stream. It ain't happening. If I happen to be on an app or whatever, I might go in there and click delete, but don't feel like it. Sorry. Where are we? Yes. So I've got this thing I pulled up here, and it's more of a conversation starter, a commentary. I don't know. Let's pull it up and see. Let's do share screen. This one. So South Carolina has just admitted UTVs aren't just toys. The state has legalized them for road use. And I've lost the mouse. Come back to me. What are you doing on that screen? Way over there. Okay, so let's set this back the way I expect it to look. There we go. And yes, there are plenty of electric UTVs. The concerns are that this will decrease crash safety and roadworthiness, and that it'll be dangerous. The benefits are it saves people from having to have trailers for almost nothing. Basically, you've got this thing that acts like a car and has the appropriate lighting and signage, and thereafter that revenue from the licensing, so proper licensing and license plates, etc. And if you're just going, say, 10 miles down the road to go from the garage to the swamps, why involve that extra vehicle? Well, actually, two vehicles, really, because you got the trailer and the tow. And then you got to leave them somewhere, and then you got to get out and do this, and then come back and put it together again, and then go back. And the reality is that some people would just take this from one side to the other, and depending on how the local law enforcement was, it might not have been an issue as long as they could drive right. And the other concern that came about with this is that folks will use it as a way to further continue to jack the prices on full-size street legal in 50 state, HTSA approved and NTSB approved, EPA cited automobiles, because you can just ride a taxi or an Uber, or now you have this, so you don't need a real car. Those were some of the biggest concerns that came about. I get the practicality of it, and I was very happy to see they have some electric ones. We've seen and talked about some of the electric ones here over the years. Some of them are pretty stout. I talked about one that had like a 75 kilowatt hour battery not too long ago. I remember our first one that we talked about had like a 40 or 50 kilowatt hour battery, while the Nissan Leaf 30 kilowatt hour was still on sale. So I'm of a mixed feeling about this. And right now it's just South Carolina, and then you do have to get it licensed, insured, and tagged. So let's go in and find out some of the details to convey to you guys here. And this has been wanted for years. Starting November 18, qualifying UTVs will be allowed on public roads provided they meet equipment, insurance, registration, and licensing requirements. On paper, it's a transportation law. In reality, it's acknowledgement that modern side-by-sides have evolved into something much bigger than than just mere off-road toys. Think about what today's top-tier UTVs offer. Many come with power steering, enclosed cabins, touchscreen, premium audio systems, and suspension travel that would make some pickups jealous. High-end side-by-side can easily cost north of $30,000 at that point. Calling it a recreational vehicle starts to sound a bit outdated. I mean, yeah, there's the interior one. It looks quite full-featured. Good evening from Stockholm, Sweden. Good to see you, Anders. I wonder, how are these type of vehicles over there for you guys? Are they prevalent, or are they just something you might see on some farm somewhere? The new South Carolina law doesn't open every road to UTV traffic. Drivers must be at least 17 years of age, carry insurance, and have a valid driver's license. They must operate the vehicles equipped with headlights, brake lights, and turn signals, and seatbelts. They'll also be restricted to roads with speed limits of 55 miles per hour or less, and interstates remain off limits. Which makes sense, because interstates are federally administrated. Yeah, the states do all the work, but they're a federal construct. Flex fuel motorcycle. What's particularly interesting is the local government's still going to say municipalities can establish approved routes, operating hours, and noise restrictions, of which your EV UTVs won't have a problem complying with unless they put stupid noisemakers on them. Noise restrictions. In other words, South Carolina isn't creating a free-for-all. It's creating a framework that allows communities to decide how these machines fit into daily lives. And I'm wondering now, at this point, now this is a thing. There are plenty of places in South Carolina where not golf cart communities like that place in Florida. Was it the Villages? It's more. Plenty of places in South Carolina near the metros, and then of course way out in the country where people just use their golf carts for everything. You've got Columbia, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and then of course anywhere near a golf club or a horse club. Golf carts everywhere. I'm curious how that will make things change. It's important because many UTV owners aren't looking to replace their cars. They just want to stop dragging the trailer around every time they want to grab a lunch, fuel up, connect a few miles of trails. And for riders in rural communities, the ability to legally drive from home to a trailhead could completely change the ownership experience. And for folks toying around with the idea of buying a UTV, this could be all it takes to actually get them to pull the trigger, especially since the explosion of HOAs across the country, and particularly in South Carolina, and the great power that's wielded by an HOA, and the many restrictions that most of them enjoy imparting on people. You can keep the UTV in the garage. You don't have to find a place to either put the trailer that make them happy or rent a place for a trailer. And then you can go straight from one to the other if you're in one of these places. So I'm of mixed mind on this. A big win for the power sports industry. Now let's see what the comments look like on this one. And there are comments. No, there are not comments. Nobody's commented on this in what, a week, 2 weeks? How long has it been up? It does say June 8th. So a week. Interesting. Most of a week. Well, that was the one thing I've got on the list. So let's go on over to catch up with what's catching up. Sodium batteries and EVs that power the grid. I am interested in alternate batteries, but I'm also not interested in guinea pig in them. Lithium and lithium iron phosphate are good enough for me right now. But if you find something that has longevity numbers, I know it's hard to prove at first. The longevity numbers, the price, the power density, the energy density, the power. Yeah, I'll consider a switch. But right now, sodium seems to be more suited for stationary. And as you can tell, I am interested in stationary, but then again, it comes down to cost and longevity and availability. EVs are cleaner than gas cars. Is it good to size by how much? This is a running theme with us. We've been discussing this for years. This simple trick boosted my plug-in hybrid's fuel economy to 50 miles per gallon. Actually plugging it in? I'm curious. The Rivian R2 is now shipping with a rare accessory the competition forgot existed. A spare tire, I assume. Let's take a look. This low mileage 2025 Tesla Model Y lost a lot of range fast. After 18 months and 13,000 miles, Tesla.com, Tesla's own battery health test showed a result its owner called unacceptable. I'm assuming this is our friend Brandon Flash. We will open it and take a look. And yes, his lease did have some pretty stout degradation compared to anything he's had in the past. Hey, it's Jason Finke, the Engineering Explained. Really impressed. Engineering Explained. Jason Finke on Rivian R2. But that's a whole nother podcast. You can listen to it on your own time. Rivian R2 is finally here. The electric BMW M3 is coming. What it might look like. I wonder if they're just going to call it M3 and what that will do to the folks who abbreviate Tesla Model 3 as M3. Because technically they did have it first. Edmunds has owned a Volvo EX30 for a year and it's been rough. I'll leave it be. I drove a 2027 Bolt. I loved all the strange storage space, but its cheap feeling interior was underwhelming. Isn't that the point? That it's cheap? I thought that was the point, that this was cheap. This Dodge Charger EV prototype packs an experimental semi-solid-state battery. We will click on this just because it's a Dodge Charger EV, and they barely sold even the gas one, let alone the electric one. So let's see what happened here. China loves this cheap battery tech. Here's why General Motors might not stick with it. LFP is the industry's go-to for cheap EV battery tech, but GM says another chemistry could offer similar cost benefits with fewer drawbacks. The drawbacks being that it's heavy and less energy dense. And what else? Because everything else about LFP is actually a plus over our preferred NMC and MCA. BYD's hybrid hatchback could supercharge its European takeover. Well, I'm not here for hybrids anymore. BYD says it will be the largest automaker in 5 years. The Pentagon is nervous. Interesting. I have an idea of where that's going. We will click into that and have a short discussion on it. BYD is bringing thousands of 5-minute EV chargers to Europe and Canada next. We'll see. BMW iX3 just drove over 500 miles in the demanding real-world range test. It's good to hear. A YouTuber has debunked Donut Labs' solid-state claims. It reveals something huge about lithium batteries. I think this is one that we do want to spend a few seconds on, and then I'm no expert, so we will then let it lay down and then come back to it when it comes up again. Mercedes' smaller battery GLC EV doesn't have a range problem. I would say not. At 404 miles of range on WLTP, that sounds adequate. I had high expectations for the Rivian R2. It still blew me away. Slate truck orders open soon. Here's everything we know about the... Yes, EVs really are cleaner. Lucid engineer departs the EV startup as new CEO takes over. Interesting. This is the biggest fear for me. Toyota chairman admits he isn't ready for the electric future. Yeah, we could tell. There's a reason to have a draft of an open letter to you for being stupid. Tesla apparently won't let Cybertruck buyers transfer FSD without spending another $20,000. Oh, thank you, richest man in the world. I still like the idea of not paying them every month, and that was going to be my route. So we will start there. Let's see. This Model 3 went nearly 400 miles in a range test. I think we talked about this one on the Tesla Live show. Chrysler recall segment already. Recalls America's only plug-in hybrid minivan and tells owners to park outside again. Oh, come on, Chrysler. It's probably those LG SLs is my first jump. I'm not saying that there's anything with LG, and I'm not putting them to blame. That's just the first place my mind goes. Slimey's here. If this thing is on delay, we'll bring her in on the video side because I don't know why they keep putting me on delay. It's not like I cuss, or I do cuss, but it's not like I cuss on here or anything.
Let's see.
Howdy. Counting 1, 2.
Do we have a delay?
I don't know. It sounds like there might not be a delay this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we've earned real time.
Forever.
Yes, I like it.
Well, I don't know if you watched it.
Which
on
one?
Friday this week when SpaceX went public.
I did not watch it live, and I forgot to put in.
I didn't either. I was in church camp when I
okay.
watched it when I got back.
And I forgot to request to buy a share. I was just gonna buy one and just hang on to it.
Hey, it's still not that pricey yet.
Yeah.
It's only $160.95.
Yeah, but see, my problem is that now, if I buy it now, it'll probably end up doing that thing where they go down for a little while, like the Tesla stock does.
But
yeah,
he looked really happy and joyful.
I mean, I would be pretty happy and joyful to be the world's richest person for a minute.
He don't really care about the money.
He says he doesn't, but he also just made history. So that I mean, nobody can take that part away, no matter if they take the record away or not.
His mother said his goal was never money. Elon and
His mother said what?
Think about it. If he didn't care about money, you would think he would have quit working by now.
I'm just saying, as a Tesla owner, and longtime PayPal customer, I feel a little nickel and dime by the dude. So to say he doesn't care at all about money doesn't feel quite accurate.
And how much money does he actually get himself?
Well, yeah, but then you see the people talk about how he refused to get a mattress for Grimes when they were dating.
Oh,
so
Grimes also.
She could have done it too. I know. I'm just saying that
she was dunking on him being rich but not living like that.
But that was while they were together, though. So I didn't view it as an
absolute jerk about it. But then she said that. But then literally after they broke up, she went in the news and said, "I only live in my house I live in because of my baby daddy."
Interesting.
So that's basically her telling the world she used Elon.
Oh, I see. I didn't hear that or think of it that way. But they were together when she was talking about the mattress thing, and so yeah, I was trying to say that as an example that I could see that he doesn't actually care about the finer things like that.
He's a trillionaire and lives below the poverty line, in her words.
That's what they sell us. But I'm curious. I'm curious how it plays out.
He's going to be in the White House today.
And he's done that before.
Well, today is also the UFC.
Oh, you mean like today in the White House? Okay, I'm tracking.
Today is the 250 fight.
Gotcha.
So Elon's going to that.
Okay, because you said that, and I was like, well, yeah, that's like telling me he's going to be at SpaceX headquarters. Okay, but yeah, like for an event today, that's more grounding and relevant. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that big event that everyone talks about.
Gotcha. I thought that was blocked, or he had to take down the stadium or something.
Nope, it's for his birthday.
He appealed it or something, or how'd that go?
It's at the White House.
Right, that was the part that was in contention.
It's been built.
Yeah.
They didn't stop it. I just go to wish Elon and Zuckerberg were fighting.
What?
Elon and Zuckerberg were fighting.
Yeah, I was wondering, are they ever going to do that? I think not, but...
Elon's willing. Elon's still down and willing.
He says that, but then Zuck says
it's Zuckerberg.
Zuck says that Elon is backing out, and Elon says it's Zuck that's backing out.
Well, if we think of Elon, so they tried to go to Zuckerberg's house to fight.
Well, I mean, that's not the way to do it.
Repeatedly, but
the man's wife and kid are there. You just roll up and just try to beat him up.
Zuckerberg, but it was according to Zuckerberg's assistant. He was like, they said to Elon, he was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, right, you were out of
town. Maybe, who knows? They both tend to world globetrot. At least call first. Don't just roll up on somebody's house. Yeah.
Oh, it's raining here. Oh boy.
Interesting. PepsiCo is now moving soda and snacks using driverless box trucks. I have many family members who work for PepsiCo.
Mm-hmm.
Or did and are retired from there.
Holy crap, that's a huge stadium.
Oh, the UFC thing?
Yeah, I'm seeing videos in my feed. But you know what's really aggravated to me this last few days?
What's that?
When I got back, I was gone at church camp from Wednesday to Saturday.
Oh.
I got home yesterday.
Welcome home.
And the first time I opened my phone and scrolled through X, I saw Siobhan's post of him with his two kids, his two girls. And now there's people going around saying that all of those photos of him and his children are AI and fake.
Whoa. That's quite an accusation.
And then they ask Grok and are like, name a time, place, location this happened, and it goes, these are AI. But then I tested that and said, hey, Grok, let's do this. And it's like, no, this is real, posted by Siobhan, where it was located with Starbase. I'm like, it gave me the whole information.
But is this similar to like when people would tell Grok, hey, Grok, give me your AI score, this, that, the other, and it would just make something up? It was like some kind of game for a while.
The person who was trying to tell me this also was like, she's under investigation.
For what?
For something, and can't post him or anything. And I'm like, that don't make sense, because last month during that trial, we found out him and Siobhan lived together with their 4 children.
They're up to 4? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. They have Strider, Azure, Arcadia, Seldon, Lycurus. When do I ever think these names are going to be normal?
Never.
True that.
I think the daddy's name is like the closest to normal you got. Well, I guess in some of the original brothers.
Some. But I was like, that doesn't make sense, because he's called her a partner.
I know a lot of married people call their person partner.
And there is a video from New Year's Eve of them kissing. Barely can see them, but they do. And I'm like, where are you getting your information that there's an investigation? The fact that she was with him during the Starship launch, too. So, just trying to connect the dots. And I'm like, it don't make sense.
I hear you.
Their lies don't make sense.
Allegations, lies, and straight up stories.
They're also trying to say she's in the Epstein files.
I can believe that as well. You saw how many people were in there for like just because he emailed them or whatever?
Elon was one of them, yeah.
I mean, like,
we have one of my people in here who keeps trying to claim he went. I'm like, no, Epstein literally called Elon retarded for not going to the island.
I mean, I would say he's probably the most high profile of the people who could be in there and didn't do anything for any reason of the others that are in there for spinning in the circle.
Literally Elon's only in there for a few email conversations back and forth of talking about going.
I'd say his probably looked the worst though.
Epstein owned more than one island. And so not all of his islands were the same as what it is. And Elon was emailing him about going to one of them to relax with him and his wife, Tallulah at the time, and their kids. And his kids, not hers. She was a stepmother of the kids. And I'm like, he was going to go there with his wife and kids, people. Where are you getting that and that from?
That's a good question.
Just to take a break, because I think it was during the bad times of Tesla.
Well, he said something about parties, and then, that doesn't look good when you know the type of parties the other guy like to have. So,
and then he was also like, never had the time to do it. He's like, I'm too busy. It's a waste of time.
Well, I mean, when you look what he and Kimball did to the Errol at the time, you would expect that wasn't what he was into, just from that alone. But so this person claims this simple trick boosted their plug-in hybrid's fuel economy to 50 miles per gallon. And I joked, he plugged it in. Let's see if that's all it was. Electric cars are awesome, but sales are not going quite as the automaker envisioned a couple years ago. Did the same thing last year. Go ahead. I think
you're like, you just plugged it in.
I think that's gonna. I just opened it. I haven't read it before, so I think that's gonna be the answer. Is that he plugged it in?
Oh my god. Well, there's some good news in the Tesla owners club community, I guess. Ohio is making their own Tesla owners club.
Oh, good.
That will be, I think, alive in 19 days now.
Oh,
and
congrats to that.
Tesla Owners of Michigan has no merch or anything yet, and Ohio is already having merch. And we're not even we're working on getting some license plates to let people know they're a club. We have merch that have already been sold, and we're not even official yet. We launched.
We had stickers, just enough to keep the website online.
Our stickers are $2.
Yeah, it was just enough to keep the website on. Let's see. Latest journey left home with fully charged battery. Made the figure jump. Answer is I was lazy the first time. Last time was a lot more involved. All modern plug-in hybrids from Volvo have at least 4 driving modes and 3 battery management settings. The V90 defaults to hybrid mode every time it starts. And it's fine. This is even worse than just plug it in. Let's see. It acts like an EV, but if you push the accelerator to the floor, the gas engine kicks in. When the battery runs out, the car just works as a fat hybrid. He says traditional, but I say, because my Volt felt like a fat Prius. So I say fat hybrid. Anyway, I used this mode exclusively for last year's trip and didn't bother to adjust the battery management settings. This year, though, I chose to start the engine when I left home, and even though the battery was full. Still chose hybrid mode, but the battery was set to hold. So it's basically, for those of you who had experience with the old Volts, he does use mountain mode, basically. Or straight hold mode, especially if you had one of the European ones. They didn't have mountain mode per se. They had hold mode, where you could just lock it in place.
My grandma has an old Chevy Volt.
Yeah.
It's like a 2014.
Yeah, I had a 12 and a 13. They were fun. So I was almost as bad as just plug it in. You use the features that are available to you intelligently. Okay, fair enough. This trick saved me to 50 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured it would be something simple, but I didn't realize it would be even simpler than plug it in.
Not something that simple.
Yeah. I like the idea that people should pay attention to their features, though. The Rivian R2 is now shipping with a rare accessory that the competition forgot existed, and I quipped that this is probably a spare tire. R2 is built as a relatively affordable adventure ready EV. For an extra $755, owners can get some peace of mind. This is not taking me off of the spare tire joke.
Apparently, Tesla now has it where Cybertrucks have actual smart summit.
Yes, that did happen this week. If you got the latest update to Cybertruck and you have FSD included
Obviously,
or rental,
the acronym of actual smart summon.
Yes, it has the actual smart summon feature. Oh, that reminds me of what I was actually going to skip all these articles and go straight to the Cybertruck piece. So we're going to do the recall after this, and then we're going to go to Cybertruck, and then we'll continue on my sidetrack here. So Rivian kicked off R2 delivery as an official accessory. Owners can buy all-weather floor mats, and off-road readiness kit, and a travel kitchen. What makes the R2 different from the competition, however, is that it can be fitted with in the trunk. You guys are just screaming spare tire at me. Let's see. It's a spare tire. For an extra $755, a Rivian R2 owners can buy a compact spare that fits neatly onto the trunk's false floor alongside a manual jack and a lug wrench. The kit shows up in Rivian's online gear shop, but customers will have to call the company to order it. That's weird. You have to call them to order it. What's so special about the tire you get a call? It does look like it's one of those super compact flat ones that you see like on Volkswagen and Porsche and others, where you actually have to inflate it on the side of the road because its ships collapsed and out of air, which is fine because I'd rather it actually fit than not.
I guess.
Well, I mean, I went and bought one for the X, so I'm not opposed to spare tires, and I've used spare tires 3 or 4 times in my million miles of driving. 1, 2, 5 times in my million miles of driving. Yeah. Tires have gotten better. They thankfully don't end up punctured as much as they used to, or if they are punctured, they tend to keep enough air that you can get someplace safe. So I do appreciate that. But I also sometimes, if I know I'm going to be just out, like when everything is closed, or just out off the beaten path, I don't mind carrying a partial or full size spare, so I can just be self-sufficient.
I guess there's many people out there saying that Tesla and SpaceX are gonna merge.
I think it's a distinct.
They asked Gwen Shotwell about it because she's the one who handles all like the partnerships and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, it would make Elon's life easier."
Yeah, it would.
I'm like, it definitely would. But she's like, they're not focused on that for right now.
And she might not be, but I mean, he's not going to do it. I think it's a possibility, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it because that's a lot of paperwork, and he doesn't like paperwork. Really, no spare tire. That shows how inconsiderate some car manufacturers are. No. You need to reframe that, Mr. John Fox 725. How many cars still come with a spare tire by default? You probably count them on one or two hands.
Doesn't Tesla not do it due to weight of having a spare tire?
Tesla, I don't think they've ever done it, at least not since the Roadster. Most manufacturers skip the spare tire, like you said, for weight, and that's just for fuel economy. A few of them keep it in just because the frame already had it designed there, and they want to keep the balance the way it was engineered. But then on the next redesign, they drop it. So the ones you still find it on will be like work vans, full size vans, and some like trucks, some work trucks, but not too many vehicles still. And of course, like a Jeep Wrangler, just because it's part of the image, but not too many cars anymore ship with one by default. Never gonna happen. Just spent close to $400 for a full size tire and wheel because the used Ford F-250 I bought didn't have a spare. Oh, I didn't realize the F-250 had already dropped it because I saw a bunch of 150s still had it. I guess it depends on your trim, but at least I had a place for it. That was the other part. Is like so many places get rid of the place you can even put one once you get it. Not sure how Rivian justify the price they charge, except that they have a captive audience and are willing to overpay for the faux truck. I would say that the fact that it's one of those ultra collapsible spares is probably, combined with the specs it needs to meet, is probably why they were able to charge what they charge, and that if they sold more of them, the price might actually go down. But they won't, because even if you do want the spare, a lot of the owners in their target demo will not actually change the tire, so they'll just get it towed anyway. But you won't see me on the side of the a highway changing a tire anymore, just because seeing too many things. But I will call somebody to go do it for me, or if I can get enough away from the highway, like if I can end up in a parking lot or a service station or something off of the freeway, I will do it myself. I've done it myself every time, except for the time we were hauling a U-Haul, and then I needed to get the car and the U-Haul brought separately apart, and then the tire wasn't in stock. And so when the guy dropped the car, he also put the tire on because it was right there. He's like, I got this. I was like, all right, well, that's faster than I would have done it. Automakers have been deleting spares in recent years as they chase weight reduction to increase efficiency. That's right, Pilar. Reminds me of Dragon Ball, Pilar. Most cars come with flat repair kits. Nah, you'd be surprised how many don't even come with that. Mine didn't have that. The Volt had it, but I think it might have been because of where it was from or where it was going or something to that effect. Like they basically had to do it. Let's see. Oh, I've missed a bunch of chat. Let me move these things around so we can catch up on the chat. Sorry about that, guys. There it is. Something popped in the background and moved you guys, so I didn't have it flashing in my eyes there. Brian says, okay, now you can start. And again, Brian at Futurosa says, he released an R2 video today. The Rivian faithful did not take it well. Uh-oh. Whose feelings did you hurt, Brian? I gotta watch this now. I gotta add it to my queue. Just check Pacifica recall. Only vans from August 2020 to May 2022 with sales from a specific line. Okay. My first reaction is still it's LG's fault somehow. Tom from MySpace got less than $100 million and sailed off into the sunset with something billionaires will never have. Enough. That is a fair point. And I think he actually came back even more humble and willing to help the community on some project just a few years ago. And he wasn't waving out, this was me. It's like other people pointed out, this is the same Tom. And I thought that was pretty cool. Still on. His name was being removed from the Kennedy Center. Yeah, I remember people were arguing that it was amazing how quickly it could go up, but how much time that he was dragging his feet about getting it to come down. He says he's AI and fake. Careful saying those out loud. It might be an incantation. Uh-oh. I don't care for silly jokes like actually smart summon. Why can't they just call it back up the truck instead? It's the same thing. BUTT. I want the banish mode. They've been promising banish forever, which also means I need to take my car to the collision center to get the parking sensor repaired. But somebody keeps having me go on trips, and I gotta make time for that to happen. Brian says apology accepted. It is LG's fault, but only for one specific line at a specific plant. Okay, so my mind was right. I felt bad about thinking it, but apparently they had enough of a pattern that it was them. The incantation was the kid's name. It could be. It very well could be, because wasn't back to Grimes again. Wasn't that one of like adjacent? Like I don't know if she actually is like Wiccan or whatever, but the spells and stuff. I don't know. Okay, so we're caught up there, and yeah, the spare tire thing is just, I get it, and like I said, they are getting better, but I still want one, at least on long trips where I'll be out and about where everybody else is closed. Let's see. Okay, so now let's do that recall real quick. Get it out of the way. Where'd it go? There. Share this tab instead. Close that tab. And as Brian said, one specific line for a certain amount of cars. 17,277 vehicles built between August 2020 and May 2022 are subject to the recall, but I have a feeling that not all of those will need actual work, but they will all need inspection. Known as America's first and only plug-in hybrid minivan, the Pacifica's high voltage pack may catch fire. They're advising owners to park outside and refrain from charging. They discovered that the affected minivan's high voltage batteries may have been manufactured with cells that may fail internally, resulting in thermal runaway. The official report is that LG Energy yes, there it is. And Brian even warned me, and that it still hits the same. LG Energy Solutions produced the potentially faulty cells on an assembly line, on an alternative assembly line, and that vehicles were fitted with batteries based on LG ES's main production line are not affected by the issue. So if you got the tent batteries, you're up. But if you're built on the main factory, you're good. Chrysler's advising owners to park their vehicles outside and refrain from charging their batteries from level 1 or level 2, which defeats all purpose of driving a plug-in hybrid. Yep. When the new Pacifica PHEV had an all-electric range of up to 32 miles, sorry, not just up to 32 miles. It's still lower than I'd like to see. But basically, it was like the Volt. It did the job versus the Toyota way of 11 miles. You get 11 miles. It's all you'll ever need. One way to work. To try and fix the problem, American automaker will install a revised battery monitoring software. This song and dance again. The revised battery monitor. We're going to limit your charge. This, that, and the other, and then eventually we're just going to take them all back and change them all out. Just jump to the change them all back and charge that back to LG, and eventually they'll be done with their nightmare, and then all new lines will have quadruple checked to make sure they haven't left detritus in your cells. To try and fix the problem, they're going to revise battery monitoring software. If necessary, the pack will be replaced free of charge. Additionally, warranty of all affected vehicles will be extended to cover unlimited miles and unlimited years. Okay, so this part I do like, and that is new. A bunch of the ones that had this, they got an extension, but it wasn't this generous. But I bet you it's an immediate charge straight over to LG, so they can afford to do that. So far, Chrysler is aware of 3 customer assistance records and 4 field reports related to this issue, with no accidents, injuries, or deaths associated. No crashes, injuries, or deaths associated. The Pacifica plug-in hybrid was America's first and only minivan with a plug, but now the title has been retired as Stellantis, Chrysler parent company, has discontinued the plug-in version, starting with the 2026 models. Oh, are you serious? They just blame everything on EVs over there at Stellantis, don't they? I'll be right back. All right, see you soon. Oh, my screen turned off. Let me turn the screen back on. That's kind of important there. A little fingerprint. There we go. All right, so as far as I know, that's the end of our recall segment. And let's go on over to the Charger, Deltona, Fresonius, bunch of names of nostalgic retro futurism. Just because I don't see the article for the Cybertruck just yet. U.S. sales of the Charger have been abysmal. Maybe Europeans, with their higher appetite for EVs, will help turn things around. I'm going to go ahead on a limb and say it will not, because as I pointed out, every time we've discussed this vehicle, Tesla Model 3 performance. Sorry, I take that back. Tesla Model 3 long range, all-wheel drive, is cheaper. Almost every time we go to look at this thing, is cheaper and more performant before you even get to the performance model than this. And so is every EV truck out there. Of course, now we've got the Rivian R2. I'm not going to go compare the numbers. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say if the R2 doesn't already beat this out of the box, then it's pretty close. And the only reason I think it might not be is because the R2 is designed to be cheaper and also not stomp all over the R1 because they want you to spend the extra money. So yeah. So I have a feeling that the Europeans, with their greater selection, because they've got everything we've got on top of all the Chinese stuff. So I don't see, unless they have done something to the pricing and they're going to build it over there in Europe, I don't see how this solves anything and gives them anything better than what they had here in the States. Like here in the States was their best chance at this thing, and they screwed it up. It's wake the neighbors loud. It's an EV. Nobody wants that. I say nobody wants that, but I mean, if your customers want it and that's what it takes, fine, do it. But your customers didn't want that, so. The latest generation Dodge Chargers going to Europe. Stellantis, Dodge's parent company, said that both versions, the electric and gas, will be exported. The gas version isn't doing so well here either, so good luck against some cars that are homegrown and cheaper that they actually want. Unless I'm wrong and like the Charger is actually based on something European already, I don't think that happened this generation. So. Builds the world's most powerful muscle car. The Charger Deltona sold 7,421 units in the U.S. Last year, but things got even worse starting in the fourth quarter of 25. During the year's final quarter, Dodge sold just 346 EVs in the U.S. with an additional 240 in this year's first quarter. Still kind of amazing to me considering that the factory's been shut for a minute. It's had to compete with a market where most automakers have seen their EV numbers fall in the past 2 quarters. That's the excuse. It's not really, it doesn't really factor into all this. Boils down to price, reliability, those two, and solid service network. Okay, that three. Stellantis has yet to provide a price list for the European market Charger and is sure to be more expensive than what American buyers had to pay. All right, so it's dead on arrival. Stateside, the 2-door 2027 Charger Daytona starts at $74,490, including destination, while the 4-door model costs an additional $500. Is that the base model or is that the electric model? It doesn't break that out. I know it's inside EVs, but it's kind of important to break that out. Compared to last year's model, the electric Charger now starts at a whopping $12,500 more, which is bound to have an impact on the RD week sales. Okay, so that's the base car. The whole point of American muscle cars is that it's like a cheap car you can buy out of like your third year of college and have some fun. That doesn't apply. Not $74,490 for the gas model. All that being said, none of the European car makers has something even remotely similar to the Charger in its lineup. Really? With its muscle car looks and impressive performance, the Charger Daytona EV is bound to strike a chord with American car lovers in Europe for the right price. That part right there. There may be people who like American cars, or at least used to before we politics shook the world. But if it costs more and it's still less car than something they can get that's more fun to drive, that doesn't have the same sort of import regulations and taxes and VAT and so forth, I'm going to predict this thing isn't going to do well. I mean, I don't want it to fail, but I'm just going to say I don't think it's going to do well in Europe. It didn't do well here. That's all great, but it means nothing if the car doesn't work properly. That's another problem. If you send it across the ocean and then it starts breaking down, that's just going to be a Ouroboros failure. Let's see what the comments say. They can't be nice. The car looks great. Yeah, it does. It does look nice. I'm not taking that from them. Even if the specs are not very good, there will be some fans of American cars who will love it. Yeah, I'm not saying there's going to be zero. I'm going to say there's not going to be a lot of them right now. We've kind of got a worldwide economy situation going on that you have to be a really like super fan to be able to just blow the money on something like that. I'm glad it comes to Europe. Looking forward to seeing this car on the road here in Europe. Yeah, it'd be like rarer than hen's teeth. That's a good car. I've been driving one for the past year. I'm still thrilled every time I climb in. A positive comment on one. Everything I've seen from people who own it has been terrible. That said, it seems like a dumb idea for Europe. It's extremely wide, as in even if you put fender flares on it, you legally have to add clearance lights. That doesn't seem like a bright idea. So if it's that wide as a Cybertruck or Model X, it's not going to be very popular in Europe just for that, especially if it's a car. It's not like a van or something. Because you got to add clearance lights when your vehicle hits a certain width. And if it's just under that, it's not going to fit on all the streets and in all the garages. I just don't see that being a long-term hit in Europe after the initial few months. Yeah, exactly. But then I don't know what performance cars cost in Europe. It would look almost as out of place on the roads as a Cybertruck. There is that, and they don't have Cybertruck there, so maybe this has a market, a sustainable market. Maybe if American automakers wanted to export something for America to Europe, I think a Chevy Silverado with a 3.0 diesel engine would hit the mark. No pun intended. The diesel part, yes, but the Silverado, no. It would have to be a Chevy van if you wanted volume, like the Express or the Bright Drop is electric already and canceled. Definitely Euro enthusiasts who love big old U.S. cars. Some of them might even like the idea of an electric one. Whether there are enough to sustain a market past the first year is anyone's guess. And that's what I'm getting at. It's like, there will be some sales, but Jeffrey Todd says this will be an abject failure in Europe as well. Okay. So while we're on this thing, where's their prototype? There it is. Let's get this out of our system. This Dodge Charger EV prototype packs an experimental semi-solid state battery. Ooh. Semi-solid state cells is now undergoing real-world tests, part of a Stellantis collaboration with the battery startup called Factorial. Heard of them? The automaker said the battery could make EVs go further, charge faster, and cost less. The same stuff we've always heard. Parent company, blah, blah. Batteries proven notoriously difficult to develop and scale, and that hasn't stopped a growing list of automakers from betting on them. Even as conventional lithium-ion technology continues to improve, benefits from deeply established supply chains, the company has outfitted a Charger Daytona for Sonius with a semi-solid state battery pack from Massachusetts-based startup Factorial Energy, and is now putting it through real-world tests. Don't turn off the screen on me. I'm talking. Bring the mouse back. Bring the mouse back. Bring the chat back. Back to the article. Says the vehicle will be used to fine-tune and validate the facts of safety, performance, and reliability under actual charging and driving conditions. And if this thing is real, then we'll see everybody else come out with it better and cheaper than them, because unless they have an exclusivity agreement and some manufacturing behind it, they're not gonna do anything but prove it out if it's real. Semi-solid chemistry, 375 watt hours per kilogram. That actually isn't terrible, but it's not all that high. For context, a conventional lithium-ion batteries typically land in the 200 to 300 watt hours per kilogram, typically, but you can get up to 500 today. Scientist says the pack can charge from 15 to 90% in 18 minutes. It's not terrible. That's pretty good, but yeah. And operate across a temperature range of negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's better. There's a meaningful leap over the current Daytona's lithium-ion pack, which charges from 10 to 80% in roughly 30 minutes. Fair enough. Fair enough. If you compare to what they have, yeah. And their current pack also probably doesn't charge very well in the cold. Real-world testing is exactly the kind of deep stack collaboration that solid state has always required. And we'll see what happens. Because let's go ahead and get Donut out of the way here while I'm here as well. YouTuber debunks Donut Lab's solid state claims. It reveals something huge about lithium batteries. And I liked the insinuation that maybe Donut themselves was getting duped by this other company, but only because I don't like the idea that if this is as alleged, that they did know and were out to scam the world. Allegedly. Donut's battery lab has all the characteristics of an advanced lithium-ion battery, according to the new investigation. The Finnish startup could have been misled by a company called CT Coatings, which claimed to have the chops to build a screen-printed solid-state cells. But not just screen-printed solid-state cells, but screen-printed sodium-ion solid-state cells. And so, yes, that was something there. Update. The story has been updated with a comment from Donut Lab. We'll see what they say. Solid-state battery. Reverse motorcycles can charge in 5 minutes, last 100,000 cycles, which is incredible because today's NMC packs are anywhere from 1,000 or 1,500 charge cycles to 3,000, 3,500 charge cycles. Lithium iron phosphates are anywhere from 2,500 to about 15,000 cycles. So 100,000 cycles would be, you would never need to change the battery of the car or motorcycle. Deliver 400 watt hours per kilogram. As I said, that's respectable because I think 500-ish is class leading right now. The battery would also be completely free from rare earth minerals, which, as the YouTube pointed out, that was a weird statement. Rare earth minerals, like what are you putting in the battery is rare earth. You put your rare earths in the motor, the magnets. Typical lithium-ion battery packs pack half the energy density and last a couple thousand cycles. So the startup's claims were bold, to say the least. Battery companies don't expect all solid-state batteries to be mass-produced until the end of the decade. Another 10 years, here we go. I know the end of the decade is only 3-4 years away, but just like hydrogen has always been 10 to 20 years away, solid-state batteries have been 10 to 20 years away as well, the entire time. That's why the little-known startups' claims of having beaten them all to the punch sent shockwaves through the industry. After months of skepticism from battery experts and efforts by Donut Labs to defend its technology, more conclusive evidence from YouTuber now points out firmly against those claims. The reality is that Hughes' investigation revealed that there might be more mundane, high-end lithium-ion cells have been become so good that Donut Labs appears to have been trying passing them off as solid state ever since they debuted at CES this January, allegedly. After Hughes published his video, Donut Lab issued a public statement denying wrongdoing. We stand fully behind the technical data and commitments that we have provided, taking them with the utmost seriousness. The company said that the trust of our partners, investors, and customers is of paramount importance to us. We're progressing on schedule with Donut battery technology. So that wasn't a denial. And like I said, if they were duped, they probably should investigate that to see if they were duped, if they don't know already. Just so they can answer directly. That doesn't look good. Hughes reviewed leaked internal emails, consulted battery scientists, spoke with Lori Patelia, the former chief commercial officer and co-founder of Donut Lab affiliate Nordic Nano. What emerged was a tangled web of companies chasing investor money, technology sourced from a separate firm called CT Coatings that turned out to be misleading, and Donut Lab's own failure, whether by choice or incompetence, to conduct basic due diligence required to verify that what CT Coatings was actually delivering. All right, let's see. Ryan says 12 minutes behind at 1.5x, catching up quick. Yeah, I find that if somebody already talks fast, or if they have an accent that I don't hear every day, I do have to keep it down to 1.5. There's one guy with a very, very thick accent. I had to put him down to 1.25, but I can still do slightly faster than conversational. Among the most damning evidence is the lithium-ion cell's expansion curve, which is a way to graphically track the changes in the battery's thickness or internal pressure as it charges or discharges. Lithium-ion batteries with a standard graphite anode typically show a small but distinct kink in their steep expansion curve around 50 to 60% state of charge, caused by ions reordering themselves during a charging and producing slight cell swelling, according to Hughes. And so then he showed us a typical graphite anode lithium-ion cell. Then he showed us the Donut Lab test by VTT. And at this resolution, the curves are identical. So, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good compared with everything else that we've already seen from other experts that have dug into this. And there were some things that were confusing, as if they were either different cells they were being shown, or if it was like a hybrid or something. But we will see. All right, so that's Donut out of the way. Now, I said I was going to talk about Cybertruck. We're going to share this tab instead. We're going to close that tab. Tesla apparently won't let Cybertruck buyers transfer FSD without spending another $20,000. Buyers of Tesla's cheapest Cybertruck trim ordered with the intention of transferring FSD, and now they can't. Oh. Okay. I thought this was something else. This still sucks, and they should do the right thing. And a lot of these people did their part. And before I read into this any further, what we're talking about here, I believe this is the one we're talking about here. The Tesla had a base model Cybertruck, and it sucked. And so they made a new base model Cybertruck, which was actually really compelling. And they told people who got their orders in, they said, if you get your order in by the end of April, you can transfer your FSD just like all the other previous FSD transfer programs. And then at some point they rug pulled. They said, "Yikes! Psych! You don't actually get this unless you pick up the truck by the end of April." The truck that they just started building very recently, and so it's after April if you didn't know. And sounds like they walked it back a little bit. Like, hey, you can bring your FSD over if you give us another $20,000. Now, if you're one of the people who paid $12,000 or $16,000 for FSD up front, and they tell you to pay another $20,000, I don't imagine that's going to go over very well, especially combined with yesterday's financial news. Friday's financial news. Let's read into this and see if this is what it sounds like. It probably is. Just canceled my $59,000 Cybertruck order today. My screenshot from the day of the order, February 20th, clearly shows it would be eligible. Terms were retroactively modified. Our 2020 Model Y and 2023 Model S are just fine for now. Mm-hmm. I think what might actually keep me from worrying about FSD on the truck is if they never give us FSD with towing, and then it won't matter that he wants to be in my pocket every month because I just won't do it because I'll plan to tow with the truck. Tesla will not honor transfers of full self-driving software to the base-trimmed Cybertruck all-wheel drive. Owners are reportedly being told that they must upgrade to a higher trim in order to transfer the software. It's not as bad as it sounded, but that is still pretty crappy. Like they're saying, you can't do a base model. You have to have the one you could have had for a year now. This has led to backlash after owners claim that Tesla changed the terms of the deal after they ordered the truck. The cheapest Cybertruck trim is finally available, and those who reserve the truck expecting to transfer their full self-driving supervised purchase to a new truck are in for a rude awakening. As spotted by various Tesla blogs, customers are finding out that the most affordable $60,000 trim isn't eligible for the transfer, despite language apparently suggesting that this would be possible when they reserved it. The solution is to pony up another $20,000 for the higher trim and be prepared to pay $99 per month for something that they have a perpetual license for today. Wait a minute. So you're saying that you can't even get base FSD, the subscription in your pocket every month one on the base model? Let me read that again. There's a comma in there. I'm probably reading it wrong. Pony up another $20,000 for higher trim, or not and, or be prepared for $99 per month. And this is the part. Stuff like this is why I say that and like I mentioned previously, like the PayPal, and this is why I think that the man is still about that money. Still about that money. Because how many of these people are there? This is not going to hurt the company if you do the right thing for these people. Especially when you look at all the earnings calls where he would complain about how low the take rate was on FSD. There can't be that many of these people, numerically, based on your own statements. Anyway, back to the article. Owners who anticipated transferring FSD from their existing cars, some of them which are hardware 3-equipped vehicles, which will be by CEO Elon Musk's own account, unable to reach unsupervised FSD, are finding out that they are not able to actually complete the transfer process. Instead, mouse moved, people are finding they are not able to actually complete the transfer process. Instead, people who placed an order report that online delivery advisors from Tesla say that the terms of FSD transfer have changed. Pray I do not alter it further. This has led to some serious backlash from would-be Cybertruck customers. In fact, numerous Tesla owners report canceling their purchases over what feels like a bait and switch. I mean, when my money gets straight, if I can transfer and just have a premium trim, I'll buy a new Cybertruck instead of a used one. Shoot, bring it. 1.5 is about your limit. Ryan says LFP is the bee's knees. Can't wait to see more of them in North America. Agreed. I've got 30 kilowatt hours of them in my garage that I need to finish wiring up and plug in. Yes, I'm so excited. Crimping the lugs was kind of scary, but once I did one, it was like, this isn't so bad. I am going to watch it with a thermal camera as I fire it up for the first time, but give it a little tug test, and everything seems to be one piece of metal now, but it wasn't pretty. I was pointing that out. It wasn't pretty. But the next one will be pretty. I hope it'll be better looking than the last one. Okay, here we go. Just canceled my FSD Cybertruck today. Screenshot from the day of the order clearly shows it would be eligible. Terms were retroactively modified. Our 2020 Model Y and 23S are fine for now. And then he's got a screenshot of the transfer program that he was purchasing under. Our author says, let's back up for a second to understand what's happening. In February, Tesla stopped selling FSD as a one-time purchase and fully transitioned to monthly subscriptions. This means buyers would no longer be able to pay a lump sum of $8,000 to unlock FSD for the lifetime of his vehicle. And again, the price of FSD was only going up, and it went down to like $3,000 for a minute. And then it did finally only go up, and it went up to $12,000, and then $16,000, and then got retconned. And I never said that, but people did pay $16,000, and it went back down to $7,000 and $8,000 depending on who you were when you were. And then it went subscription only. So instead, these people need to pay $99 per month to use it. And again, that price isn't fixed, so it's not like you're grandfathered in. If you just don't let your subscription lapse at $99, you're good to go. And ask any folks at Starlink customers how they are with pricing. They will let you know, and they'll go up and they'll go down. And yes, they're decent about it, but the whole point of the matter is that you could have paid one time and been done with it, and now you're at the mercurial nature of somebody else's designs as far as whether or not you get to keep it. At $99 per month, $299 per month, $199 per month, $50 per month, who knows? Right now it's $99 per month. It's important to point out that one of the tranches in CEO Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay package for Tesla, not just $1 trillion valuation overall, $1 trillion pay package from Tesla, is the ability for Tesla to hit 10 million FSD paid subscribers. So that's why they did this. Money. Anyway. Following this decision, Tesla then opened up orders for the new Cybertruck all-wheel drive, the cheapest trim at just under $60,000 on February 20th. Tesla pulled two demand levers in order to drum up sales. First, Musk pulled the FOMO lever by noting that the price would only be valid for 10 days. The typical Tesla, we can change this car faster than you can change your underwear. Okay, not literally, obviously, but this is faster. The way they do these is often faster than many people can move the money around if they have it sitting liquid, let alone if they can get a loan on it and get everything ducks in a row in time. And then, hope they're not on vacation when the thing gets delivered, because it's another thing they do. It's just, if you're not ready to pick it up in 17 hours, we will give it to the next person. You got to wait another month or 3. If the cars weren't so great, they would have much less customer loyalty, because they are kind of like abusive boyfriends with it, aren't they? The cheapest trim would need to stay in order to. The cheapest trim would need to order in order so they could lock in the pricing. So basically, if you didn't get it in 10 days, you would pay a non-determined higher price, which turned out to be $10,000 more. Next, Tesla separately reminded owners that the window to transfer FSD to a new vehicle would be ending soon. Given that the Cybertruck doesn't have auto steer without FSD, so basically Tesla used to have where you could have auto steer, which was basic autopilot, where it keeps in the lane and doesn't hit stuff. That was included with most cars, but it was not included with Cybertruck, and now it's not included on any of them. That's a major incentive to buy FSD alongside their new truck. February 27th, Tesla quietly updated the support article for FSD transfer eligibility. As one user on X pointed out, the Tesla modified the language from customers who place an order for a new vehicle for a new Tesla vehicle to customers who take delivery of a new Tesla vehicle by March deadline. Oh, sorry, it wasn't take delivery by April. It was take delivery before April. So March 31st. Yes, baby. I don't know if that park is nearby, but I'll take a look at it for you. Let's see. By the March deadline. It's important to point out that the language also specifically says that vehicles may qualify, meaning that Tesla had an out from the start. However, owners who placed an order for all-wheel drive Cybertruck, knowing that it could extend past the transfer deadline, did so with the expectation that they could transfer the feature to the trim. And they didn't just hopefully, I want this so bad, and I have FSD and I'm going to transfer it. No. Folks tweeted at Cybertruck, at Tesla, at Musk, and were told yes by the official accounts, those 3. Not all 3, but one of them 3. And I want to say it was the company itself, not just Musk, because you could always say, the man is just talking. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know the Model X doesn't have track mode. But the company, that's a little harder to say. No, the company should know better. And so now owners are reportedly unable to transfer their FSD unless they move up one trim of move up to one of Tesla's higher Cybertruck trims, which means that spending another $20,000. If owners choose not to move forward, they report Tesla's offering to refund the $250 order fee. Ooh, so generous. Now, most cases they keep the order fee no matter what, so that is slightly generous, but it's not. It's pretty crappy. Tesla's stance on this transfer is admittedly confusing from the outside. The automaker could have used this opportunity to move a significant number of owners out of aging Hardware 3 cars and decrease Tesla's potential liability to retrofit vehicles with new hardware. Instead, owners are backing out of purchase agreements over the new FSD transfer terms. So yeah, so now it's costing them even more money. They've got these trucks that are built, and yes, they will be able to sell the $99 a month for these new people. But now they're still on the hook for the FSD transfer, or for the FSD functionality on the Hardware 3 car, and these people might keep it out of spite just to make sure that it costs them, because the company tried to do that to them. And as the guy said, these are still really good cars. Let's see, we got a comment here. Greetings, Timothy. Good to see you. Glad to have you by. While Tesla may have built its business around rapid change and continuous software improvements, moves like this that could affect the automaker's famously high but slipping brand loyalty. For now, it looks like many would-be Cybertruck owners are keeping their older vehicles until further notice. I mean, that's what I ended up doing. I was going to get a Cybertruck Lux package just to get everything I'm used to on the current car, but then the people who are messing with my money continued to mess with my money. So we'll find out next month if a judge calls them dumb butts and tells them to get up off it. Anyway, famously high, but slipping for now. It looks like many would-be Cybertruck owners keeping their car. And like I said, we're going to keep the Model X regardless. It's got way better fuel economy than the truck. It's just not a truck, so we can't do truck stuff with it. We can only tow 5,000 pounds. If we want to keep all the car seats in and pick up random stuff from a hardware store, it has to be really small stuff from a hardware store, or I have to ditch the kids and the wife so I can fold down the seats. And, well, when you're on a random hardware store trip, instead of a planned one, well, the other thing you could do is bring a trailer, but then you have to know what you're going. Again, you're not on a random hardware store trip if you planned to bring a trailer. And again, I guess it would definitely be under 5,000 pounds if I was going to put it in the car, because inside the car has 800-pound payload capacity, while the truck has a 2,500-pound payload capacity. So that would go up as well. Tesla selling discounted used Cybertrucks now. That's probably an old news article. Well, I will take a look. Oh, you know what? This might be the one from last week or the week before we talked about. SpaceX bought nearly 20% of Tesla Cybertrucks sold in the Q4. We heard about that already. Tesla made the Cybertruck way cheaper than Elon Musk said it was already going away. Yeah, because it sounded like when this happened and the whole 10 days thing sounded more like they talked about it with him. He wasn't paying attention. They started the thing and he's like, oh, crap, why is that thing out there? And then rather than to save face, they pretended it was something that they'd already planned to do as a temporary deal. Tesla's cheapest Cybertruck is $10,000 pricier and a year away. Yep. I'm curious the comments on this one. When you keep in mind that Tesla objectively cannot produce a car for profit without substantial government subsidy, then the nickel and diming really starts to make sense. If that were true, yeah, but I don't agree. No, I'm not renaming it. I'm not ending it. I was just keeping the daggum screen from turning off. Okay, there we go. What subsidy is currently in place, aside from some states, totals less than 10%. I have to agree with that one. Bradley Anderson says, so another profit grab for the cluster truck. Basically. not exactly like that. It's just the nickel and dime run again. Frankly, this isn't confusing. It's scummy, slimy, unethical behavior by Tesla. Just another reminder that Tesla is very much Musk's creature. Puts company in charge of company, and this is the sort of behavior is inevitable. It's definitely not something we would have expected from 2018 Tesla. Nice anti-EV rant. What? I didn't see anything anti-EV about that. I saw it as something kind of anti-one person. Bull, apparently you're not bright enough to recognize the difference between anti-EV and anti-Musk. Your profanity insults are showing your logic has failed. To many, Tesla equals Musk. But Tesla, Musk, and all that don't equal EVs. So how's any of that anti-EV? I have had many Musk protesters throw mud at my Cybertruck. I'm glad you separate the two. Yeah, there's no reason to be throwing stuff at people's trucks. It's still a product. Like I buy lots of products from people I don't care for their current stance on stuff, and it's still a great product. But doesn't mean I want to go yuck it up with the CEO or the CFO or whoever's got the whatever I'm objecting to. Like when Toyota was doing their self-charging hybrid and the political donations I didn't agree with at the time, I would not have gone. I would have met Mr. Toyota, but I would not have gone out publicly and glad-handed and whatnot with him for that. So yeah. But as somebody in a group where you have to kind of watch what's going on all the time, it's if every little slight happened, then you would have to make everything at home and wear hair shirts. You couldn't wear cotton or wool or buy any product. So how bad do you want to stick to your guns, basically? Tesla and its illegal U.S. resident are basically acting as a mafia. It sounds mafia-esque, yes, when they say, yeah, shame if something happened to your FSD. Someone at Tesla needs to get fired for changing deals after the fact. Who can trust such a company? Unfortunately, I fear that somebody may get fired, and it won't be the people who actually implemented this whiplash policy. And it's not, I don't think it's just one person. I think it's a small handful that just didn't do the right thing. Name calling. The cars are great. The service is fine. Buying is easy. But as you said, someone needs to get fired for so many confusing changes. If you fire them, that means it can happen again. If you correct them, then that means it should stop. I drive one. It's mostly wonderful. Fits my needs pretty well. My next EV won't be Tesla, though, because this isn't a confusing change. It's an outright fraud. Also not the first instance of this kind of fraud we've seen from Tesla this month. I'm curious what he refers to there. What else happened this month from Tesla? To each their own. I go with the best car and truck for my needs. Politics be damned. That's kind of where I'm going with that as well. Let's check the chat real quick before I move on. All right. Some more Cybertruck stuff while we're here. Was that one? I think that's the one from a couple weeks ago. The cheapest used Cybertruck ever cost $67,000. Is that enough to go as buyers though? So yeah, this was June 2nd. We talked about this one already. Or if not us, then the Tesla Life Show did. I saw Cadillac Lyric, a couple of them this week, so let's talk about the Lyric. The one I liked the best I saw this week was the red one. It was a very beautiful red. It was the same red as my Volt, I think. The 2027 Cadillac Lyric is keeping its big feature all other GM EVs have already lost: CarPlay. Let's take a look. I bet it's CarPlay. For 2027, Lyric is also keeping the infotainment feature that GM eliminated from all other EVs. That sounds like CarPlay to me. It's gaining a Tesla-style charge port, so it's getting the NACS port finally after all these years. 2 years late model year-wise. limits the need for charging adapter at Tesla superchargers and other non-Tesla stalls equipped with NACS connectors. According to GM Authority, the 2027 Lyriq starts next month at Tennessee, and it will be the last General Motors car made with in North America with CarPlay and Android Auto, both wired and wireless. And that's actually kind of timely because both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay got some more EV features in their last updates. So if you have the 2027 Lyriq, you can take advantage of that. Okay. Let's talk about Amazon. Rivian again. Amazon now has over 50,000 electric delivery vans in its fleet, and I've seen some, but not in any of the neighborhoods I get deliveries to. Most of the battery-powered vehicles are Rivian vans, but thousands of Mercedes-Benz commercial EVs have also been part of the fleet. And as we heard from Robert last week, the ones in his area are Mercedes EVs, so that's even cooler. The e-commerce giant sells everything from pens to ATVs. I didn't realize they sold ATVs. That's kind of cool, especially after our article on UTVs. I wonder if they sell any that big. It has over 50,000 electric vans delivering parcels across the globe. It's an important milestone, but there is still work to be done. The company has pledged to have over 100,000 electric delivery vans by 2030. Tick tock, you got 4 years and you've got 50,000. You can do it. The American firm hasn't detailed exactly what brands the models it will be using to deliver packages in global operations, but we know from previous reports, the majority of the vans in Amazon's fleet were made by Rivian. What's wrong with that? There we go. Just from a fuel cost and maintenance standpoint, I'm sure Amazon is seeing a quick break-even point on these EDVs rather than buying ICE. Level 2 overnight charging is cheap, especially at Amazon, because they have the wiring for it. Hopefully, but the electric vans are about $30,000 to $35,000 more expensive per unit. Okay, so, and then Amazon had to install more than 17,000 charging stalls just for existing 50,000 vehicles. Okay. From the independent delivery service partners who actually employ the drivers, it's another 15,000 per van in localized infrastructure and driver training. What are you spending in driver training on the EVs? Don't run out. Plug it in. What training do they need? Fleet analysts estimate it takes roughly 4 to 6 years of continuous operational savings for an EDV to reach cost parity. That's probably reduced somewhat due to current gas prices. 4 to 6 years isn't a very good purely economical decision, since these vans typically only last 5 to 7 years. See, there's the other part right there. Is part of the reason those vans typically only last such a short amount of time is not the frame and the body, it's the powertrain. So already they're going to last longer, and they're going to cost less, and they're going to have less maintenance. So then when you look at the fact that a lot of these vehicles are reaching cost parity either through incentives or just being better, you might not be looking at the same numbers that this firm that you're quoting. I got to look at all the comments now. This firm has led you to believe. I see these Rivian vans several days a week in the area. I even got to talk to one of the drivers a while back. He says it's much easier and more pleasant to drive. Yes. Does this open the flyout? It does open the flyout. Okay, so I need to find Jeffrey Todd. Curious what the responses were. Oh, they're right up top. Look at that. Like any energy transition, installing new infrastructure is expensive, but the EVSEs could last longer, or should last longer than the individual van. Yeah, absolutely. And in the worst case is you're buying new handles or cords, but hopefully not too many of them, because you've hired individuals, not spoiled children. Let's see. And the prices of both will continue to decrease. Yeah, so like we said, a couple of the manufacturers are showing price parity already. And as we talked about with the semi-trucks, with the incentives, you could be starting out ahead and then just continuing the advantages. Due to increase continued R&D, increased production, and competition. If they've got or to break even now, the cost of advantages will only be increasing going forward. And since they are already break even, GRA is right. Jeffrey Todd comes back with, what makes you think they'll last longer? Did you read the article? Less oil changes, less this, less that. Because there are no oils to change. It doesn't mean there's no oil, but there's no oils to change. Something that breaks even after 4 years is not a positive investment. Everything breaks after 4 years. Breaks even. Something that breaks even after 4 years is not a positive investment. Only if you're only going to keep it for 4 years. But your tax vessels for it are 5 and 6 years. So you have to keep it for more than 4 years. So already, if it's broken even by year 4 and you've kept it till year 5, and it's by definition profitable. If car A costs $100,000 and car B costs $20,000, but car A costs $1,000 less $1 less per month to operate, then there's an eventual break-even point, but it's still a bad investment. Yeah, if those are the numbers, but it's not the case. Not if you're Amazon. They will subsidize Rivian and infrastructure today and reap benefits long term. EVSE infrastructure probably lasts 30 to 50 years. It can, depending on what you get. I will say 12 years easy, 20 years if you haven't put too many whiz-bangery in the cloud, some fly-by-night company stuff in there, yeah. That's fine as long as you understand it's a subsidy rather than an investment with a positive return. If it is that, but it doesn't have to be. Because there's no need for payment at all. The EVSE is eliminating all the complications that it entails. That alone right there could save their drivers some time, unless it's the case that their depot has a fill station, which is rare because the environmental compliance on that is harder and harder by the year. Plus, then you have to have all sorts of compliance and codes to make sure that people aren't bringing their personal cars through at the wee hours and stealing your fuel. But if you have them all on plug and charge, and you plug them in, and if it's not one of yours, it doesn't charge. It's a little easier, and especially if they don't have to sit there and do codes and stuff. Next, that alone saves you hours a week. Can you rephrase that? I got it. Okay, at a company warehouse site, there's no need for all the software, etc., needed for payment at a public site. In general, there's still stuff needed though, because people will steal your gas. It happens. Needed for payment at a public site, eliminating all that communication and possible sources of failure. All they need to do is deliver power. Okay, yeah. Commercial EV charging, yes. All they need to do is deliver power, just as in the case with a home EVSE, making EVSE simpler and more reliable. If somebody doesn't remember the cable and the handle. If car A costs $100,000, car B costs $20,000, but car A costs $1 less per month to operate, then there's an eventual break even of this quote. And so the quote was actually before he destroyed it, because the one that we read was not that. Fair enough in that case, but that example isn't really relevant because as it has over 1,000 years to break-even point. To do the math properly, you should assume that both cars are financed over a reasonable loan term, or your Amazon, you paid cash, finance over a reasonable loan term, and calculate how low the interest rate has to be in order for car A's savings and fuel costs to exceed its additional financing costs within a 4-year break-even period. If you're financing it. With an additional 4-year break-even point, or with even a 4-year break-even point, you can make it work with a reasonable interest rate. With a 1,000-year break-even point, you cannot. A 4-year break-even is too low for it. But again, have you seen what these companies will do to save a penny? 4 years instead of 6, they will do this. I would expect an electric delivery van to last much longer than an ICE van. Start-stop driving you do in deliveries is very hard on engines and shortens their lifespan, but it's very easy on batteries. That needs to factor into the economic calculations also. Do you have any evidence that that's true? Yeah, just go read a book. They're everywhere. And by a book, I mean just any of these papers where they wrote it up because they're all book sized. Timothy says hello. Brian says hello, Timothy. Okay, so I see these rivian vans several times a week in the area. I even got to talk to one. They want 50,000. Mostly they're vans. I like these things, and even the non-rivian ones are just really cool to see around. And I don't see how anybody who has seen what the numbers can do can think that these will not succeed. My personal observation is that while these are definitely quite a bit electric Amazon vans, of the deliveries happen through big gig economy model where the driver owns the vehicles and gets paid by the run. These contractor cars and vans, which are not Amazon branded, remain mostly ICE. I don't think I've even seen many hybrids on that front. Definitely haven't seen any plug-in hybrids. I think I saw a Blazer EV once, which is smart. Wish they still had the thank you driver thing. I could be like, yeah, this person deserves a tip. One of the rivian vans delivers in my Amazon neighborhood. Expected delivery this afternoon. What about the Ford E-Transit? That's another good one if it fits your model. All the electric Amazon vans I see are E-Transits and Chevy Bright Drop for other companies. Huh. Those headlights are quite distinctive. Mm-hmm. Wondering how much diesel and gas they've saved using these. Tons. Literal tons. Of course, the electricity may use coal or natural. Again, if you take a EV and you power it with the dirtiest coal-powered grid in the nation, and that was a couple years ago. This part of the nation may have changed their mix by now. It was, you had to have a vehicle with less than 50 miles per gallon equivalent for the coal to be enough of a factor that a gasoline car or truck or van would have been cleaner than the EV running on that grid. And I don't know if you pay any attention, but the full size delivery van market, they don't deliver any 50 mile per gallon gasoline or diesel vans, so you're safe. We stopped by Norma, Illinois to see the Rivian factory. Could not see much inside the factory, but mostly the lobby and displays. But the lots were full of Amazon vans. Amazon's far from done buying Rivians. Yeah, I still appreciate my... Howdy, Brian. Howdy.
Howdy indeed. Howdy indeed.
Yes.
Sounds to prevent any potential echo.
Yes.
How are you, man?
I am good. I'm about to put a battery together. I got one lug crimped.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
I am having a little brain party here. What I'm doing is next month, July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the Longview, Washington Go Forth Festival. I am hosting an EV info booth along with my friends at the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association, oeva.org. Patrick tells you to join it. I'll tell him to join me.
There we go.
Because you know, we got it, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting together a bunch of printouts that have EV myths on them.
Oh, excellent.
And so when someone says, "Oh, these are worse for the environment," I say, this MIT study says
this guy with
go ahead, Jog.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Jog.
Yeah.
Like that guy with the ownership myth, cost of ownership.
Come on, total cost of ownership. Oh, okay. I'm putting it on my notes. That's why I'm here, Kacey. Yeah. It is because I'm your friend, but because you're my friend, you're going to help me think of more myths.
Yes.
Total cost of ownership. So I've so far done, I've got good citations on the batteries die. They just die. They don't. And I found
they get weaker in 8 years.
Yeah.
It.
Well, I found a great article that says, here is what we've got. Recurrent did a survey of all of their owners, and they've got quite a database. And they found that Gen 1 up through 2016, 8% failure rate. And if you think about people with those vehicles, you go, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Gen 2, it's
Twice.
way down. Yeah. Well, hey man, we're doing something new here.
Yeah.
Gen 2, they kind of got it sorted out. The number goes way down. And Gen 3, there just aren't replacements. The replacements are on sometimes a brand new model or something made by LG.
LG.
You're too big. Sort it out. So I'm doing that. 4
traction battery replacements in my life. I've had 2 Civic hybrids and 2 Teslas. That's it. Yeah.
There's a guy in our club who has an electric RAV4 from before the Tesla era.
The 98 RAV4?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a 90. It's the pre-Tesla one. And he's still got the original batteries.
Yeah.
It's got this weird charger that looks like a hand, like a...
Yeah, the magnet charge.
Is that what it is? It looks like a little paddle that you...
Yeah, it's a paddle charger.
Yeah. And he's like, it works. I don't know what to tell you.
The communication is still J1772. So, like, if you wanted to make an adapter, you could.
Well, the thing is, his wall unit died. He's like, I've got problems to solve, and it ain't the car. So it's a lot of fun. Batteries die. The range is too short. Get over it. It's not.
Yeah. The faux tree hugger pearl clutching, like the one guy was talking about how dirty they are. You need to find the updated numbers on the one I was quoting, where if you take the dirtiest grid in West Virginia on coal, it came out to, at the time, you had to have 50 miles per gallon equivalent to beat that. And like I was saying, with a Sprinter van, they don't have a 50 mile per gallon combustor, and so you're already good.
Right.
But really, that number, the modern number, might be helpful.
It's really bonkers. I had a guy on some subreddit the other day try and tell me that even Tesla says the batteries are only good for 6 years. I'm like, what?
They're warranted for 8.
They're warranted for 8. So he goes, okay, well then replacing them at 8. I go, the warranty doesn't mean you replace it then.
So now you got to pay for it.
I had a Nissan. Does that mean my warranty, my car, I need to replace the motor at 50?
Right.
At 5 year 50,000. Kacey, the motor's only good for 50,000 for 5 years. I'm sorry.
Right.
And if you look at these,
even the old cars, they didn't start freaking out about the engine until 100,000 miles, and now it's what, 120, 150.
Yeah. One guy said, well, I had people in that thread arguing that EVs have no resale value and they're much too expensive secondhand. You guys should talk to each other,
right?
Because if
it has no resale value, then it's not too much expensive use, and if it has too expensive use, then it has great resale value.
Yeah, I drove over last weekend in Muskegon. I landed. Kelly said, "Hey, Brian, do you want to take my spare car and drive it from Detroit out to Muskegon?" I'm like, yeah, one more car in the light show. Why not? She goes, good, because I've already loaded it full of stuff. So. This car has 158,000 miles on it. It has hardware 3. It has that was upgraded in their driveway by the mobile service tech.
I haven't put mine in.
Yeah. Well, it could be because they're in Michigan, and at the time, at least, the number of showrooms was quite restricted. So they and I'm in this car at 158,000 miles, and I'm thinking, if you told me this had 42,000 miles, I would believe you. There's no squeaks or rattles. There was a screw loose on the skid plate, and I was like, Bert, can we look at that? Because it did sound a little bit like when I rolled the windows down, it sounded like I had a box of plastic forks with me.
Yeah.
But we just tightened that and and it's got a couple little things like the back camera needs to be cleaned thoroughly. The back trunk release needs to be fixed. You can still do it on the app. I mean, those are, but the problem is that is not a $5,000. You cannot go in and pick that up for $5,000. This guy said there's not enough $5,000 to $10,000 used cars. I'm not buying a new car. I can't afford one. I want a cheap used electric EV. And I go, the problem is they're worth too much. Kacey, I'm going to cut you a great deal. I've got a Pontiac, an Oldsmobile, a Ford with 158,000 miles on it. How long would you expect that car to last? That gasoline powered car to last? I had that
car for $3,500, and I'd expect it to last up to 1, maybe 2 years.
Right. I would expect 3 to 6 months is pretty solid.
Mhm.
6 to 18 months is when it's going out.
Mhm.
Because it's end of life. This car isn't. All
Right.
the important pieces still work. The range is not as good as new, but
Well, gas mileage isn't as good as new on the other one.
they never tell you that, do they? Well, the
No.
cold weather performance. Do you know what gas does in cold weather or
Ooh, it goes
climbing a
real
mountain?
bad. It gets
It
real
does,
bad.
it does not do as well. It doesn't fall off as hard as batteries, but it
No.
does fall off, and everyone just kind of ignores it.
And if you've got a logbook, you can see it like plain as day.
Mhm. I had
Unless
never
your mileage was
experienced
like 6.
I had never experienced range loss due to cold until I was driving back over the mountains from California one winter. And I was
Mm.
like, and the range just kept going, "Ooh, well, you're not coming in with 20, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You're not coming in with 14, I'll tell you that." I'm like, "Wow, Mark, how do you do it?"
Those were fun.
Those are fun. So here's some other things on the list. I'm going to just run through them real quick.
Yeah.
If the battery dies, it costs more than the car.
If you buy a brand new one,
Also true of a motor on
this
an
is
old
true.
car.
Very true.
Batteries can't be recycled. They're chucked in landfills.
Oh, who's wasting that much money? There
Right?
you mine the battery.
If my gold ring dies, Casey, I have to throw it in the trash. Don't do that with it. Don't do that.
They get to get it smelted.
Yeah. The fires, of course. They take too long to charge, of course. They're too expensive. I've got a long list of cars that are below the average cost of a new car in the US.
I had one complaining about the on the Vegas article last week where it was too there's folks, because the fuel price has gone up so much, there's some folks that are risking 120-degree bus stops or trying to ride their bicycles in that and not having good outcomes. And so somebody said suggested EVs, and he said, well, there's giving money away, subsidies, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it wasn't luxury car giveaways on the used EVs. It was up to $5,000, significant money, but it was means tested. Like once you started making money, that number started to come down. And so these same people who now are having extremely bad outcomes in the heat had an opportunity to, there's no reason, like canceling that didn't make it easier for them to get to work. It just made it worse.
Yeah. And the reality is when the polling turned prior to the last presidential election, I said, and I said this to John from Tesla Owner Silicon Valley, I said, oh, well, I need to go and change my production estimates.
Oh, yes.
Like, well, why? I'm like,
because you're right. Unfortunately,
because fossil fuel daddy loves fossil fuel. And what's crazy is I know people know that fossil fuel is insanely profitable, but if I told you they're making $3 billion, would you say, yeah, that sounds about right per day?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. You know how many politicians you can buy without even noticing a chunk of your $3 billion a day missing? All of them.
All of them,
yeah. Oh, they're so much cheaper when you buy them in bulk.
Yes. Yeah, they're talking about how this push to bring back coal is more expensive than the other non-coal combustion options, and yet they're doing it anyway. But like you said, $3 billion can change some minds.
It's very frustrating. Also, let's see. Let's see. Fire.
The one I get a lot is escaping from natural disaster in. So you get away from a hurricane in that EV. Like, well, I've only done it 7 times.
Okay, I'll put evacuation on here. I was going to say, well, we don't really have those kinds of things, except that you can see Mount St. Helens from parts of town. Not as many parts of town as you used to. You know what? Mount St. Helens was gorgeous, but I lost a lot of respect for her after she went topless in the 80s.
That was shortly before my time, right?
I was old enough to I have some vague memories of it, but I lived northwest of it, so we were, I don't know if we could even see the cloud from where we lived. Where I live now,
82, something like that.
80.
Okay.
So I was 6.
A good bit before my time, yeah.
Yeah, where I live now, we're downstream from it. Our rivers turned black and stopped.
Yikes.
And if you're in a town where the river turns black and stops, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
You've got a ticking time bomb upstream. You are about to get flooded. Corps of Engineers came out, made short work of it, as short as you could. The Columbia River was no longer navigable to Portland because
Wow.
a little bit choked with ash.
Yeah.
And now when they do construction near the river, they'll, dig down into the foundation. You've got 2 feet of black ash.
Oh, it's still there. Wow.
Yeah, because they just we got to clear the river, man. Where would you like us to put a third of a mountain? So
leave it there until we need to build on that site.
yeah, and you know what? Now the banks are higher. It's even better.
Yeah.
So let's see. Too heavy is one of the myths I
Okay,
see.
I get that one a lot. Yeah.
I've
Too
seen-
heavy and more tires. The more tires is only if you have a performance one and can't keep your foot out of it. And the heavy, compare a Model 3 performance to a BMW M3 and
Exactly.
boom.
Oh, exactly. That's the one I do. People go, well, I'm comparing it to a Corolla. Don't.
Right, don't.
Don't. It's not the same. It's not comparable. Compare a Model S to a Mercedes S-Class.
Right.
Identical.
Well, I only compare cars that's still in production, Brian.
Right. Right. Well, so the Model Y, compare it to,
Oh.
I had someone go, yeah, but do you know how much the, let me know when you're back.
Oh, I'm here. It's just a little streaker roll in.
All right. People say, yeah, but do you know how much the Hummer weighs? I go, what's it comparable to?
A Hummer.
It's not, that's out of production, Casey. We already made the rules. There is no comp to a Hummer. There is no comp.
Yeah.
So what do you compare it to? An MRAP? It's lighter.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's so dumb. And for as over-engineered as the Cybertruck is, it's not that heavy compared
No, it's
to
lighter than
comparable.
Yeah.
To a comparably capable Ford pickup.
Or
And the
even,
other thing,
a pure EV, it's lighter than them too because it went with the smaller battery.
yes, if you compare, it's so silly, the curb weight of any gas car, it doesn't include the gas.
That's true.
Well, gas doesn't weigh that much.
Yes, it does.
20 gallons at 7.5 pounds, 8 pounds a gallon.
Exactly.
150 pounds right there. So great. Can I subtract the batteries? What I was saying,
subtract the 3 grams of electrons.
it does have weight. That is true. The fun thing I was looking at, I was doing a story about the hypothetical lithium air battery that could hit 12,000
cool.
kilowatt watt hours per kilogram. And I was asked, what could you do with a battery like that? And I said, anything. Anything. I mean, drop 1,000 pounds off the weight of any car.
Yeah.
You could make a 5,000 mile range vehicle. It would cost you, but you could do it. That would be,
or you could make the 300-mile range vehicle weigh less and
weigh 1,000 pounds less.
Yeah.
And then the question is, well, where do we even put the batteries? Where's the safest place to put them? It's like,
underneath.
You don't need the whole floor anymore.
Right.
That's you need a little compartment. So maybe you put them in, like, buried in the middle of the car behind the third row up, or the second row up in the, as far as you can from harm. Look at a car, find the least damaged spot after any given accident. That's where they go.
Yeah.
So that's, and what I had to tell people, because I had someone very upset, Brian, oh my gosh, you didn't cover this battery breakthrough that was just released Saturday morning while you were about to take the stage in Michigan on the road. Why didn't you cover it today? So, well, first of all, even if I was CNN, I wouldn't have gotten to it.
Right.
That's too quick. But also, this isn't in production. This isn't in prototype. This is on a lab tape. Yeah. Getting out of the lab is hard, but first you have to get into it. So, yeah. Oh, the other one I wanted to cover was the insurance is too expensive.
I get that, and I'm confused because I'm seeing that some of them is cheaper, some of them is more expensive. But I think that's a matter of, at that point, you need to start shopping if you get that response.
Yes, I think it's quite possible, if you have a bad driving record, that getting insurance on a high performance vehicle would be prohibitive. I can see that. That's entirely possible. But I see people go, well, I've got No, nothing on my record. It's like, well, do you live in Florida? Because Florida has high rates. I don't know. And another one is, well, I've been with Allstate for 20 years. There's your problem.
That part right there.
You get a better deal by switching.
It's like you get a bigger raise by changing companies.
Yeah.
I went from I'm still with the same insurance company, but I went from Volt to Model S, and it went down a little bit. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. But I guess I would say this, that, and the other. And then I got the Performance Model X from the Model S. I was like, what the hell? It went down substantially.
Wow. Well, it's all actuarial work. They look at it and say the people who buy these outrageously cool, expensive cars are the ones who are not likely to crash them.
Well, once you got 7 seats over 5, you probably carry a small person with you.
Yeah. My insurance, I had a 2016 Nissan Quest, liability only. Oh. And it was about $65, $70 a month. Then I switched to a fully covered Model Y. Hello, co-host. I went to a fully insured comp collision liability Model Y, and it only went up by maybe $50, $60 a month. Oh. To me, that's a good deal. I don't have any tickets. I don't have any accidents.
Right. You went down?
And to your point about tires, I have never needed to replace the tires on either of the Teslas we have. One has 20,000 miles, one has 30,000, and they both have tons of tread remaining because we use FSD and drive like a grandma.
The shortest distance I've had on the set of tires for the Tesla, beyond where I learned not to let it do the auto height on the Model S, was 40,000 miles. Usually about 50 or 60,000 miles. The where I learned on the S was 15,000 miles, and only because it tore up the edges of the tires because it was changing the geometry. And so I said, you're not allowed to do that anymore. It wasn't worth fuel savings. It saved a lot of fuel, but not that much.
It saved literally dozens of dollars in electricity at the cost of hundreds of dollars in tires.
Exactly.
My friend's dad, my exchange partner's dad in Germany, wouldn't use the brakes on his BMW. He would only downshift. Because that way I never have to buy brakes. Brian, don't you think that's a good idea? And even as a teenager, I said, brakes are cheaper than clutches.
Right.
And he's like, but I only keep a car for 4 years on a lease. And I'm like, okay, for you, that's a better deal. Remind me not to get a car from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the tires, the weight, insurance.
One thing I love to point out is, do you remember that time when you could get gasoline for your car and it was free? Where you would like go to a store and they'd be like, sure, I'll give you a gallon of gas if you come shop at my store. Do you remember that?
There was this one time when I was a kid where the radio station, the price of gas was doing the thing, and they said, okay, we're going to take a penny off a day. And then they said, all right, for the next hour, you come in and you say our radio station name and you buy a Coke, you get a gallon of gas for free.
1 gallon. So those are rare. Those don't happen. If you work at Exxon, there is no free fuel pump for you to use.
Right.
But if you go
to the car dealership, I was driving the Volt, and this one guy complained, I don't get free gas when I drive. And in fact, he probably could have if he drove a company car. But anyway, the owner looked at him and said, flicked him a nickel and said, hey, there's your free gas. That's how much he's spending me in electricity, and he's making me a lot more money than that.
Yeah. If you go to the library, you might get free juice. If you go to the grocery store, you might get free juice. If you go on PlugShare's app, pull up your county, and select to only show free chargers, you're gonna find some.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of today.
If I was 18, 19 today and wanted to do a cross-country trip for free, I know I could do it, but I don't have the time or energy to.
Right, or at least under $20, because there are some stretches where it's harder to make them connect.
Well, but if you've got a full tank,
okay, if you start full, then you can.
Yeah, you start full. You know where the next city is.
Yeah,
they're never more than 200-300 miles apart.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and then let's see, cold weather range. We said expensive.
Oh, the my electricity bill is going to go up.
Oh,
And
sure.
it will, but I mean, look at everything else that comes down.
Yes, one of the things I pointed out on the grid, grid can't handle it. Is not only can it handle it today. If everybody switched today, we would need more generation, but it can actually stabilize the grid by charging overnight and soon vehicle to grid.
There's that, but also every mile you drive in an EV, to drive the same miles in a gas car uses the same amount of electricity because you had to refine the gasoline, and that uses electricity. So that actually the load comes off of the grid or stays the same.
I did show that in a presentation for OEVA a year or two ago, where I said it was something like you could charge every EV on the road today. That number isn't meaningful, but let's say if all of them were EVs, just with the juice used for refining, you could do maybe 2 charges a year for free for every car. It's like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And what kills me is people say, well, here's the tailpipe emissions from a car, but they don't count the mining, refining, or distribution. You got to count that semi that brought it in.
They start right at the pump. They don't start at but the EV, they start all the way back at the power plant.
They don't actually start at the pump, because if I can smell the fumes, there's emissions.
Yeah.
So
they do the numbers. They do the numbers starting at the pump.
But they do the numbers after the pump.
You use the vapors while they're pumping. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do it till you turn it on.
Here's an interesting answer I got from some charging guys. When you buy electricity from Electrify America or any of those, or Tesla, are you charged for the amount of juice they send or you receive? Because there is loss between the time it gets to the handle and gets into your car. Heat,
It depends on the provider. Some of them charge you by what crosses the meter, and others charge you by what your car reports, depending on who did it.
So no, apparently it's federal law. It's what your car gets.
Oh, so that's nice. Oh, so the places that charge by the kilowatt hour have to charge by what you actually. Oh, so that's why the car tells station Y. Okay.
That's why they have to. Yeah, that's why they have to communicate.
Okay, I like it. And if they can't, they have to charge you by the hour.
So here's my plan, Casey. I got this hack idea. Okay. My comm system is going to say I'm getting half of the juice. Man, this guy's handle must be hot.
Careful.
That would be hilarious. I assume if the disparity was too great, it would just shut down, because something is dangerously wrong.
Right. Yeah.
I'm looking.
You say 3 pennies.
Yeah. So on the Rivian thing, what I said is I have concerns. The fact that they're excluding analysts and serious reviewers from doing serious reviews. People, oh no, come on. Kyle Connor went and saw it himself. No, Kyle Connor went and did a 20-minute demo drive. That's not great. What was his 100 to 0 range? Right. He didn't do that because he couldn't do that, because you can't do that in 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, he didn't do his special. He did
right.
Probably more than others that were allowed to do, but it's not his special. So
right. And
you ask him the same questions of any of his other runs that he has on paper that's not there for this vehicle.
Right. He's only getting the most surface level review. And in my experience, when a company is going out of their way to not tell you something, that is an answer. And we've seen reports of one car that had a critical battery failure during the demo drive. I don't hold that against them. Well, I don't know. Is it? I don't hold that against them. If it's one of the first 100 cars you made on this new line, my brother, things will happen. It's going to happen. But the fact that you're not letting the serious people see it is a red flag. The other red flags are, you can't sell this car for $45,000. The whole reason you said $45,000, that was $4,000 of inflation ago. And you haven't bumped it up to 48, 49, and it's not coming until next year, hopefully.
They put on a GM and just hoping the volume makes that not an issue.
But they don't have the volume because they never opened the Georgia plant, because the Georgia plant hasn't been built yet. So they don't have the mechanism to go into the kind of volume that would justify the lower price. Are you are you just going to sell these at a loss, but at higher volume? Guys, the cash burn is concerning.
The loss leader paradigm means that you either have something more expensive to sell, or this is just a taste and you're going to flip it. And it doesn't sound like that's what they're trying to do here.
It's, I don't understand the strategy. I don't know. It's very concerning. And you will run out of money at some point. It's like, well, but the software will save them. They're licensing it. Right. Right. But they're also licensing it from Xiaopeng. And guess which one makes better software? The reason Volkswagen is doing the partnership with Rivian is because it's not clear if Xiaopeng software will be legal in the US.
But if it changes and it's clear, they'll switch.
They'll switch because it's much cheaper and much better. And so, well, they've got autonomy coming.
That one is another one that concerns me right there, is that they're saying right now that, hey, this car that we're shipping today doesn't have all the modules populated.
So here's the problem with the autonomy on it is it only costs $2,500 lifetime, but the chips they're putting in it cost
more than that.
Cost more than that, really. Yeah. But even at volume, it costs at least. Yeah. So that means if the take rate is 100%, they break even.
So that means they're going to pull in my pocket nickel and dime bait and switch like this other company that I happen to know.
It's not a great formula. No. So in terms of,
but we found that out anytime a company offers lifetime software, is that eventually, unless everything is completely local, it's gonna eventually have to change.
No, Casey, you misunderstand. We meant for the lifetime of the software,
not the vehicle, not the owner.
No,
of this version,
not even the program. But these are concerns, and people, oh, you're just bitter because Rivian doesn't like you. Rivian gave me an R1S for a week, like 2 months ago. I don't think Rivian doesn't like me. I think Rivian is scared of me. I would be if my product was anything other than bulletproof, So, oh, you're just mad because you didn't get to go do a demo drive. I can go do a demo drive. Doing all these things costs me money, costs me time. Yeah. It's not that, the people getting
everything that's time that you're away from your facilities to do your stuff.
Yeah. But if they invite me, I'll go. Yeah. Because they can tell me something. They can tell me something.
And even if they don't want to, you're pretty good at getting them to talk.
They might know that. They might know that. Some of my methods have been revealed, but I told you my favorite one is, I know you can't talk about your product. Let me ask you about your competition's product. You know about that, right? You go, yeah, of course I know about the competition. I go, how do you think they approach this? And they go, well, I'll tell you what they do because it's so dumb. And then they process of elimination. Sometimes they'll even tell you, what we do is we'll do this rapid prototyping where we have a meeting in the morning, and by the next morning we've got 3 of each design in testing. It's like, oh, that's fascinating. This thing you did not anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
No, they would be wise to keep it's like with the autonomy thing. Yeah. They don't have the training data. They don't have the compute. They can
lean on the NVIDIA open source, but the NVIDIA provided that everybody else is doing, or they have to license it from somebody else.
I don't know if they are using that, but if they are, it doesn't work yet.
It doesn't work, and it also means they're not any better than anybody else because everybody's got the same
Everybody's
data.
got the same, and and they don't share data across manufacturers. You think I'm going to give you my data? No. So they're all going to be training in their own separate silos.
Yeah,
and great. That product still needs to be purchased and configured and then trained. Mm-hmm. That means you are years from a solution. And that solution in the meantime is only going to cost you money. You will not make profit on it. Where Tesla, when they were selling FSD at even 8,000, but certainly at 12 or 15, they were the hardware. The hardware probably cost $1,000.
Yeah.
And so they were just, you did not need a very high take rate to break even. And the upside potential is ginormous. So I don't know. I'm getting the kind of complaints I'm getting sound exactly like the kind of complaints I got when I said FSD version 11 is trying to kill me. How dare you? You just have some kind of, bee in your bonnet over. It's like, I'm just telling you. I'm just, it's like, well, they invited other people, just not you. They invited influencers.
Yeah.
The influencer's product is hype.
Yeah.
They sell hype. My job is to keep you from making a bad decision.
Yeah. On this latest revision, my 12 dot whatever has tried to jump into moving traffic a handful of times, and I've had to stop it. I don't know if it was doing the leap of some of them. I caught it doing a leap of faith, but others, it's like you saw the truck, I saw the truck. Why did you think it was okay to go?
I'm driving. No. Okay, first of all, no, you're not. I'm going to go ahead and tap that pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
So on 14.3.3, I think I'm on, whatever 14. I might be on 3.4. I don't know. The driving is wonderful.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
The parking and navigation is mental.
Oh,
where
had regression there, huh?
Where are we going, buddy? Where?
I'm going to leave this parking center 3 times if I pick one.
Oh, well, I gave one of my local viewers said, I know this old gal who would love to have a test drive. Let's go. So we hop in. We just set some destinations. Of course, we wind up. He goes, she's an old lady. Let's say the hospital. So instead of me selecting curbside, I didn't select anything, and it parked in the parking garage. And when we tried to leave, it went to the roof and started looping. Like, and after 3, I was like, well, we'll just intervene.
That's why I was concerned about the streak meter. How many miles you've gone before hitting the pedal?
Oh, yes. I don't like the streak either. It is, in my opinion, incentivizing poor behavior.
Right. Yeah. Like speaking of the parking, like for something they haven't touched in 2 years now, mine sure does have a lot of changes, even when they're not touching it. So my favorite is like, oh, you have an ADA placard, right? Yeah. Here we go. We're parking here.
No, good. That needs to be a toggle.
It does.
Because if you have it, please. And if you don't, please.
Exactly. Other times it will, nose into a spot. Other times it'll make up a spot. Then my favorite is it knows I like to back in, I guess, because every now and then it's like, all right, it'll just line up and it's like, what are you doing? And then it's like sits there. It's like, oh, your butt is facing a spot. You want me to back in now? And so, right. If I catch it while it's still not bored with me and I switch it to reverse, then the auto park comes on. It's like, can I go here? I'm like, yeah, you can go there. But
it's presenting, Casey.
But my favorite is in its own driveway. It knows it has to back in to charge, and sometimes it will request that, and other times it'll just like nose up. I'm like, how do you expect this to work? You charge on a Gen 2 charger, you know this.
So I disengage at the end of every drive because where it parks in my driveway, I have to pull 3 more feet forward, or nobody can get out of the car but me.
Huh.
So. And every time it's like, hey, why?
But it's like it knows its spot. It's like, yes, that is your spot. But
just a couple more feet, my friend.
That part.
So,
hi, Marco.
Yeah,
she brought treats.
I do appreciate your help on the.
Oh, it was fun. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because they're just going in landfills. They're not. I mean, they are. Probably 1 or 2 by accident.
There's gonna be some,
But just like gold rings and watches sometimes end up in the landfill.
Yeah. Let somebody figure out how much they cost, and they will stop doing that.
Right. It's not being done on purpose. Definitely not, because it has cash value.
Yeah. And people are fond of throwing away cash.
The lead acid battery recycling program is a huge success. Because not only is the lead quite valuable, but they put a core charge on it. And that core charge guarantees that you will bring it back.
Yeah, is that like 99 or 98%?
Like
yeah.
So, it's outrageous. It's wonderful. And it works. I would not like to have a $10,000 core charge on my car,
Right.
but I guarantee you're getting that battery back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same with like the motors and everything, but oof.
But they're so valuable as is. If someone said, look, this Tesla was crunched to absolute bits, but the motors are still intact, those can go into your boat or your off-road racer or anything.
Or a crash Tesla that needs a new motor.
Yeah. I mean,
there's so many uses for it, and same with the either the whole pack or the modules or even the cells. It's like there's a community out there that's willing to do something with this. Plus, you've got somebody who might have a 2012 that would like a range boost. And
do you know what happened to the LG batteries that were recalled?
Did they put them in the energy storage modules?
Yeah, because what the problem is high charge, high discharge.
Yeah.
And for stationary, they were put into 8-hour packs.
Oh, so they like 0.5 C or less.
Less, probably 0.25 C. Yeah. It's so they didn't even use thermal management for that.
Oh, wow.
Didn't put any fire mitigation on them. Didn't even use mounting racks. We just put them on cinder blocks over gravel. Because at an 8-hour charge or discharge, they will not go up in flames.
Right. Not unless it was already on fire when they put it together.
And then they've got AI cameras, thermal cameras that monitor both the storage systems, but also just the storage lot for all the, the storage.
Copper thieves. Yeah.
No, it's for fire. It's definitely for fire.
Yeah.
They have had false notifications. What is going on? It keeps thinking ground squirrels.
Oh, because the ground squirrels are hotter than.
Yeah, they're hotter than the cold desert floor at night. And it might have been rats or prairie dogs, but it was rats. Yeah. And the camera's like, I don't know what it is.
It's really hot compared to everything else.
Hot, and it's moving. Probably aliens.
I wonder if they even gave a discount for that, if they just charged them full price. You should use batteries.
I suspect, I couldn't get a straight answer, but from what they didn't say, it sounds like GM paid them to take them.
Oh, okay.
Because the number is too great. If you want us to pay for them, we will buy 10% of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
All right.
If you tell the customers, oh, you're not part of the lottery, you don't get to get the new pack. You get the software and get the hope. Versus, your neighbor just got a whole new pack for free.
The best deal I saw, was a parent of one of the other kids at my school. She had gotten a Chevy Volt. And she liked it well enough. She wasn't thrilled. She wasn't sad, but her lease was something stupid, like $198 a month.
Nice.
And a few years later, I go, hey, you still have that Volt? No. The battery threw up an error. It threw the error up again 3 months later. They bought it back and gave me all my payments.
Oh, wow.
And that was after like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, you had a free car brand new car for free. 2.5 years, just took it back. Nice. She didn't have to like hire a lawyer. They just looked at it and said,
I like to do the right thing.
Yeah. Well, American companies famously always do the right thing after exhausting all other options.
Okay, I'll give you that. but sometimes they like maybe they wanted to use it for an engineering study or something. So they're like, yeah, just give that back to us. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Or
and it might have been when they were winding down the program. They're like, look, we're just not going to get parts for this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on lease. You got 6 more months here. Just here's all your money back. Just get something else.
Yeah. I am excited about, so let me say some nice things about Rivian.
Okay.
They have been very smart about tackling segments of the market that are famously empty.
Yeah.
They had a truck when no one had a truck. They had a 3-row SUV when no one had a 3-row SUV. The R2, I don't know what to comp it against. Like, the Subaru. It's like, no, this is much more capable.
Yeah.
I don't know who's taking it off road, but I never know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
If you buy a $70,000 Jeep, are you really taking it off road?
But
Some
it's
are.
trail rated. Yeah, some are.
I mean, some are. It's trail rated. If that's what you, so I think that's very smart. And I saw a brilliant suggestion in my comment. Someone said, look, if you're going to go after what Tesla isn't, you should make the Civic hatchback.
Yes, and they are about to make the R3X.
Yeah, that's just a cooler R2 though.
Right.
But just make a little cheap,
Oh, you mean entirely, not just one
modestly capable street car.
Yeah.
Make an actually affordable car that's actually cool. Because the Nissan Leaf is cheap, but it's not
It's
cool.
not cool.
And the Bolt is not, I mean, it's cool for what it is, but it's not actually cool.
Exactly.
It's like being the prettiest girl in Walla Walla. It's like being the third prettiest girl.
Well,
yeah. So, like, look, I get it. You're nice to look at, but
have they got what it takes to be able to do that? Because to do a volume cheap car right now is
they need the Georgia plant.
Yeah, that for sure.
But like the Sprinter van, they're the only serious name in Sprinter vans in North America.
Yeah,
for electric ones. I'd like to. I don't know why that program isn't bigger. I don't know if it's a profitable division, but.
Well, I mean, the painting of them in the facility they have is difficult. They come through on their sides.
What?
They don't fit in the plant.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
They paint them on their sides. That's hilarious.
Or they use them for the building on their sides, at least.
Here's the neat thing.
Mm-hmm.
The panels on the
mm-hmm.
Rivian van. The Amazon panels.
Mm-hmm.
It's Amazon gray.
Yeah.
I got to talk to a body shop who was stuck repairing one. He's like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And he gets in there. He gets in there. The panels just pop off.
Oh, nice.
The rails on the inside were damaged.
On the EDV or
on the Rivian electric van.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the rails you just buy the rails and put them in.
Nice.
And you buy the panels. He opens the package. They're already painted.
Oh.
He's like, this whole thing is going to be like 5.5 hours of labor.
Nice.
Instead of
like
30 plus painting. And so that was, I think, a smart synergy between Amazon being the customer and the investor.
Yeah.
Because Amazon could say, look, you got to make these things repairable. Humans bonk stuff.
And then we're out there in America.
We are. I don't know if you've been in the world, but that's where we operate. And it's messy.
And we double park.
Yeah. I did want to say congratulations to that person. I don't know who it was, but somebody made a wish that Elon would no longer be a billionaire, but they wished on that cursed monkey paw. So congratulations on getting your wish.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happened? I assume that's what happened.
It had to be what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody was ragging on me for wanting to still get Cybertruck or something else, and I was like, hey, there's a lot of products that people in the circles I run have to be concerned with, and this is like the least of the issues of things we got to be concerned with, and you just have to weigh them out. Like, is this person actively going to use this profit to murder me? Okay, then maybe I don't want to buy that one, but I'll buy the second best thing. But
the heart wants what the heart wants, Casey.
No, you still have to look at it because it's not fun to look at. But you still have to look at it. But
you are not allowed to marry a commoner. We will excommunicate you.
Usually the math works out that it's like, unless I'm actively activisting for this thing, then I'll just get the one that does what I want for the money I want, the features and reliability, warranty, customer service. I mean, it's not like, if I have an issue, it's not like, even if I tweet it, I mean, he's not going to see the tweets. And most of the people I've had interaction with there, they manage to work the system no matter what happens to get done to the system to make it hard to work. It's a good experience I've had all the way through.
I know people who left Tesla because of politics
Mhm.
who have returned to buying the products because they're better products.
Yeah.
And, as much as I rave about Tesla most of the time, I'm one of the channels who doesn't hesitate to call them out when it's
Exactly.
not good. That's why I keep saying the navigation is just a mess. I could lie
It's
about
getting
that.
better, but it's a mess.
Yeah, I could lie about that easily. I could say, well, it parked me on the wrong side, but I don't care. It's just as close to the door. That's true, by the way, but I don't want to park there. I want to park in this. I have a system. I'm all about process control, Casey.
Yeah.
My friend's dad was an airline pilot, and he said I always used to park as close as I could to the terminal and then come back 3 days later with no earthly idea where I'd parked. So I picked a floor and I picked an aisle, and I would park on that row every time, even if I had to walk a half a mile, because I know in my groggy state,
I'm on row 14.
I'm on row 14, floor 3. Just keep walking until you find it.
Yeah.
So every parking lot I go to, I have a part of that parking lot I park in every time. Can always find the gosh darn car.
Yeah.
And that's how I set my life up structurally. When I wore glasses, I was very blind. So I would have a system. I keep my glasses on the wooden corner closest to my head when I sleep. Hotels, friends' houses, doesn't matter. I know where I don't have to Velma it like I'm finding the leg of a monster who's actually a real estate developer, oddly enough. But then, and if there's no wooden corner, it's a shoe. Everything to me. My shoe. If there's no wooden corners near my head, it's in my shoe.
Okay.
Process control.
Yeah.
Because, it's hard to find your glasses when you need your glasses to find things.
I need my glasses to find my glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that episode of The Twilight Zone. Come on.
The beans and the books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, spoilers, Casey. Come on. Brian, it's been 60 years. That's fine.
I think it's closer to 70 now.
Closer to 70. Someone got mad at me a few years ago because I spoiled Great Gatsby. I'm like, the movie's 20 years old. The book is like 100 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You've had 100 years to catch up.
I had an English literature class where in the class in college, there was a gentleman who was from India, but we didn't think of him as from India because he had a British accent because he was from that part of India. So he had a very sophisticated British accent. We're reading Jekyll and Hyde. We're talking about it. We're discussing all the parts. And he raises his hand. He's like, guys, why is no one talking about it? It was the same guy.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, you got to read Jekyll and Hyde, no spoil. Have you ever heard of Looney Tunes? And he's like,
oh, yes.
No.
Wow.
We don't have that on TV where I live. We're like,
wow.
Holy, you've never heard of someone doing a Jekyll and Hyde? He's like, no. Wow. You got to see
That's
that
a luxury right there.
with your eyes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So anything else you want to chat about?
Those were the big ones right there. We had the Rivian, we had the Cybertruck, we had the richest man in the world, richer. We had nickel and dimes. How are your people responding to the the February FSD transfer situation that
that's done? Nonsense. That is, suck it up, Tesla. You said transfer's a transfer. You said that. We didn't say that.
Ordered by the end of April.
Orders placed, and now you want more money. Now I've heard that they're saying, well, if you want to not execute, we will refund your non-refundable deposit.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the deal.
That
wasn't the deal. The deal was you get to transfer.
Yeah.
If somebody made a mistake, own it. This costs you nothing.
Next to nothing. They said, what was it? A 12% take rate at the max at the time that this thing's going on.
Yeah. And if your concern is, well, we want more people to be able to buy it in the future, bring back the 59. Give us a round 2, baby.
Yeah.
And somebody, I forget, it might have been Kyle Connor, got the 59,000 version and is doing a test, and it seems to be going well. Also, what I would say is on R2, because my conclusion was don't buy it unless you're an early adopter willing to pay extra for a worse vehicle.
Right.
I said the same thing about Cybertruck, and I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
Early Cybertruck, do not buy it unless you're okay with overpaying for a car that's not quite ready.
Right.
It's not quite
Or
dialed
you
in.
wanted a special edition that was going to be worth less than the non-special edition later.
Yeah. And so, and people were like, "Oh, you're so cynical." It's just reality. It's just reality. Look, there are those of us, and I put you in this group because I guarantee you're one of them too, who signed up to do to get beta versions of software.
Oh yes.
We knew, it was through Adobe on mine recently. I was still using the beta periodically when it would have something that interests me.
Yeah.
And it crashed. Do you want to complain? No, because I know I'm using the unstable version.
Yeah.
So that's on me.
Yeah.
But there are, what I tell people when they complain about a software update on Teslas, do you have advanced turned on? Yeah. Turn it on.
Yeah.
You will be the last person to get it, but it'll be better. And you might end up skipping whole versions, but it'll be better.
That's true.
You'll have a better experience. And when people are saying, "Oh my gosh, Brian, 14.3.4 or 3.3 is coming. Aren't you excited to get it?" What I have is working, pretty good. When the new version comes out, I go for a test drive. I don't usually publish it because
somebody else has already done it months ago.
No, because there's nothing to show. What am I going to show?
Yeah.
My problem spots in town are gone. What I'm going to start doing, I guess, is head to the roof of the garage
and see if you get stuck. See
if I'm trapped. One of these times I got to just let it go. Just let it go. Let's see how many loops we can do.
Yeah, they'll start fixing that.
Yeah.
Who is it? One of these guys has a couple places he won't share because of the fear that they'll fix it. And
I don't want a specific fix. I want a general fix so good that it addresses my secret spot.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Cook, when he's narrating his videos, he's not talking to you and me. He's talking to the team.
Oh, okay.
Because when he was invited to go to whatever day it was that they held, where Elon said, "By the way, Chuck, we're going to fix your unprotected left."
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, I called Chuck. I go, "Dude, they called you up by name." Because I wasn't surprised because when I got there, I was just walking in and the FSD team saw me and they lost their minds.
Oh, wow.
He's here. Chuck Cook is here. He's like, hello?
Hi, team.
So he goes, from then on, I record my narration for them. You guys can listen if you want, but
I can't blame them.
On total cost of ownership, one thing I need to mention that too many channels, myself included, are guilty of missing is the higher registration.
Yes.
What is your state
hard to do. So
because I think it's now 40 states that have a higher registration. It's
of the places I've registered this one, 2 of them were just they pulled $500 out of their rear ends, and the place that's registered now is $50 for not burning combustion fuel.
In Oregon, I'm in Washington, but in Oregon, their state one says, look, if you don't really drive the car, you can do odometer based instead. Break evens it's really low. It's like at 5 or 8,000, you would hit the cap. So if you're over that, but if this is like your weekend fun hobby car, because I still know people with like Zap Zebras, do the odometer based instead.
Yeah.
And on the Zap, it might be a neighborhood vehicle with a different classification anyway. But if you have a Tesla Roadster in Oregon that you don't drive more than 1,000 miles a year, your EV surcharge is minimal.
Okay. On my way out of Virginia, they I don't know if they did this to everybody or just the test group. They wanted the credentials to the car, and I was like, no.
What do you mean? They wanted to be able to access it?
For the taxes. And I was like, nah, that's not going to ever happen.
Yeah,
I had corporate programs now where that actually could work, but I don't know that I even want them to have that.
When I applied for the mortgage for the house we have now,
Mhm.
Every day, this is during COVID, so every day they're giving me more hoops to jump through because the banks are scared. They don't know what's going on. And so one of them, they're like, oh, we need to get an updated copy of your PayPal business account.
Oh,
And there's no statements. You can just print out, PDFs of
yeah.
just activity. And I said, well, I'm at the optometrist. It's 4:30 now. I'm not going to get home until after you guys are done. She goes, that's okay. Why don't you give me the password? I'm like, to my PayPal? I'm not doing that. And B, I don't know the password. It's all locked in my password manager.
Yeah.
And if you tried to log in, it would definitely throw up a flag because you're in a state that I've never been in because they were,
Yeah.
the processor's out of state. It's like, I'm not giving you the login to my bank account, to my business bank account.
And not only that, but PayPal then also has links to everything else because that's just how they were set up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I said, and the other, she goes, well, the thing is your statements look different than other clients' statements. I go,
Okay.
okay. I go, first of all, do you really have that many? She goes, no, it was a few months ago. I go, okay. So it's possible they change it. I go, was the other person's a business account? They're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, look,
And was their account as old as when Musk was still there? Because that also tends to have a little look to it than the current ones. Yeah, mine does not look like anybody else's.
So my account is real old, real old. But what I was saying, look, so they know I used to be a banker.
Yeah.
My loan officer was at one point my sister's loan assistant.
Oh, cool.
And I said, you can just do a verification of deposit, right? Like, you've got my signature on file. You can just like send that to them right now and they'll just give you she's like, yeah, but I'm like, well, honey, you'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to go home and forge documents, I guess. That sounds like a lot of work.
Something where they'll then be able to find you forever.
Well, and also it's a PDF. So I imagine, I don't know. I imagine there's signatures on it.
Mhm.
Like
a
digital signature.
Yeah.
That would say made by Brian,
right?
Instead of the actual pen.
Yeah.
But hey, what do I know? But yeah, the loan was approved. We've been here 7 years as of next month, so I think they're reasonably confident I'm good for it. But banks were just being extreme. The thing that really chapped me, I didn't know this. Did you know that during COVID, you could apply for a loan forbearance on your mortgage and say,
cool.
I'm not going to make any payments for the next year. Just tack it on to the end of the loan.
Oh, for a year.
That was just a thing you could have done.
Wow.
If you did, you would not get another loan.
Wow.
If we had done that perfectly legal thing, we would not have qualified for the mortgage.
Wow.
And
vindictive.
Right. What is wrong with you people? And so every month I had to show them, I had to send them my bank statement in the mail from the mail that showed that I'd still made them. I'm like, why would I stop making the payments now?
Yeah. You're not supposed to change anything about what they're building about you during a mortgage application.
Yeah. And the best part was all this running me through the ringer. I had a whole bank account they never even asked about. And that was the other one is now they didn't want to just see my tax returns. They wanted to see my bank statements that showed the tax return had actually been deposited. I'm like, oh, that's good. But again, I did the form. You can just request a copy of my actual tax returns.
Right.
And they're like, it seems like a lot of work. I'm like, so you're putting it all on me.
Yeah.
So
the transcript authorization. I remember that.
Yeah, it was the account that linked to the PayPal, they never actually asked to see. I'm like, that's great. It's great. Because there's all kinds of money in there. There's all kinds of activity in there. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm not going to bring it up because you guys are just a real pain.
Yeah. We see you bought a stick of gum on Thursday. Why? Why did you buy a stick of gum?
What are you doing there at that time of day? What?
Like, what did you need to know that for? Yeah.
So I've got a difficult decision to make. In November is Cyberfest 3.
Oh,
And I don't know if you saw the footage from last year, but Man Cave Mike goes out on the track and drifts the Cybertruck.
nice.
And he said, "You should come this year." I go, "I'll think about it." He said, "I'll let you drift with me."
Oh,
I'm like, oh,
that sounds like fun.
I gotta think about that. I gotta think. Did I tell you my big trip I'm hoping to put together at the end of the year? Ethiopia.
Oh, wow. They were the first nation in the world to go gas free.
Gas free. No more import. But I'm a rich guy, Casey. I want to import my Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it sucks.
You'll
I don't know
pay
what to
that.
tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, they make an electric one.
Yeah.
So, Casey, I wish to make electricity for my people so cheap that nothing else makes sense. What's a good energy rate? What should we do? What's a good,
Next to free, like 3 cents kilowatt hour,
how much?
like 3.
No, too much.
Oh, 3 cents. 1.5.
Nope.
Oh,
0.14 cents a kilowatt.
whoa.
0.1. So so like filling up my EV is like 35 to 70 pennies.
Right.
Is that right? Am I doing that right? Like I'm losing track when we get under a penny.
Yeah.
I saw an infographic on it. I'll have it on a show soon, next few days. And by the way, gas typically $4 a gallon.
Yeah.
Right now, it's $2 a gallon. Because all that gas stuck on the wrong side of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
That
They're
can
right
go to
there.
Ethiopia.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, you guys are on this side of the firewall, so
Yeah.
just get rid of it.
Yeah. Hey, the ships are full. You want some? Oh,
I mean,
we'll take some.
yeah. I mean, for that price, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
They
Ethiopia.
can do some of the energy intensive stuff like steel foundries and
Yeah.
AI data centers.
Whatever stockpiles you can stockpile, do that.
Yeah.
Fill your reserves. But Ethiopia, I have a viewer who is a big has business in Ethiopia. He said, I can assign you my assistant, my helper, as your ground support. And if you go, I will pay for your hotel. I'm like,
Well,
how
nice.
much is that? He's like, nothing. It's like almost nothing. It rounds to nothing. He goes, because Ethiopia's got stories to tell and you can tell them.
Yeah.
I said, wow, it sounds like you really love Ethiopia. He said, Brian, I've been to 81 countries and out of all of them, Ethiopia probably ranks second to last.
Oh.
And it's like, hang on. I did the same thing. Hang on. Did you say to last? Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. But I'll go back to hang out with you if you want. It's got a lot of stories to tell. They need to be told. But man, is it a challenging place? It's like, but
I'd lead in with the whole first 100% EV mandate, but then show them what you find.
yeah. Well, and people go, "Ooh, do they have solar?" I don't know. I haven't been. What I do know
Sounds like a
is
place that could use it.
Addis Ababa, the capital, is at 7,500 feet of elevation. I'm not excited about that.
No.
So we'll see. We'll
Bring your
see.
sunscreen and gas mask. Oxygen mask, I should say, not gas.
Oh, an oxygen mask. I was like, oh no, is it dirty air too? But I would love to interview a taxi driver in that country.
Yeah.
What is your actual fuel cost? What does public charging cost? They could mark it up astronomically and it would still be about free.
Yeah. We've marked it up 650%. Okay.
Oh, wow. So it's almost a penny? Oh, man.
It's 10x. Okay, so it cost me $5 to fill this taxi per
Yeah.
day.
And maybe that's enough to grow the whole thing.
It might be.
They don't have a domestic auto industry to protect.
Yeah.
And every petrodollar you spend is money that leaves your country and never returns.
It's
Because what on earth would Iran be purchasing from Ethiopia?
Coffee.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. All right. Well,
let's park this bus and then
yeah,
we'll go off camera here. All right,
sure.
Everybody, I want to thank you all for coming through and having fun with us today.
I will say, if you're catching this on the replay, because my name is in the description of the channel that published it, then awesome. But you have to comment that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I demand a surcharge from Kacey in the form of additional high fives, and our hands get real sore. So we're not gonna damn it. Son of a.
So do visit Brian's channel at Futuraza, right there in the title there. And I want to thank all of our channel members for helping to pay the hosting bills on this thing. And I want to thank everybody again for taking time to stop through and listen. And again, if you're live on LinkedIn and you see that it says I'm going to be live again at 8 o'clock tonight, I won't. And I'm probably not going to go back to cancel it. So deal with it. Everybody else likes and comments and everything. We appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And we'll see you either on Brian's show or on the Tesla Life. And I'll catch you next week. Thank you.